Now, you were on with Adrienne first, right? Off camera. And I remember Jeremy said all those horrible things about you in Australia. And then you were on again off camera with Tom.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
With Tom. Now I'm pro Aussie. Honestly, they're my favorite fan base. Absolutely the best.
Oh, yeah.
Marketing.
That was actually pretty good.
Right. Now all you do is
Boston.
You hang a little bit more on the A. Marketing.
Marketing.
Right? Marketing.
Oh, my God. This is
Marketing.
good. Nissan.
Nissan.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, Nissan.
I want you to announce it to the world.
Yes.
It's time.
Okay, here it
It's
is.
time. It's
Here
been
it is.
fucking long enough.
It's time. Josh has the most...
Welcome back to another episode of Oil and Whiskey. This week we have, this is going to be a first. This is your first time on the show. However, it's your third time being in the studio.
Yep.
So I remember, so this is Andrew Mernone, right? HP Tuners, COO of HP Tuners.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big fucking deal. Yeah, absolutely. C-suite, right?
Too nice.
Now, you were on with Adrienne first, right? Off camera. And I remember Jeremy said all those horrible things about you in Australia. And then you were on again off camera with Tom.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
With Tom.
You guys swap seats?
You were on again with Tom Peters, right? And and then I said all those nice things about you. You remember that? And I was like, man.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it went down, huh?
100%.
That was
That's
right
exactly.
before
People,
Steve.
you can it's recorded. Listen to it.
Yeah.
Playback.
Yeah. Fans will let us know. In all fairness, if somebody's only listened to about 3 or 4 episodes and they heard me say that you were the
They'd
mean
probably
one,
believe it.
right?
Yeah.
It's the shoe fits. All right.
Fair.
So now you're actually here
on this side of the camera.
Yeah.
It's good to hear your story instead
Right.
of just taking shots at with no rebuttal.
Yeah, it's easy to take sucker punches. But now that you're actually here and you can defend yourself, it's going to be fun.
Sitting there in silence, just taking it. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. When the guy can't say anything about it or like do anything, you kind of get a little cocky. Now you're sitting here, right?
Well, I
It was just jokes, man. It was jokes.
you walked all that Australian stuff right back real fast, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially with SEMA coming, right?
Yep.
There's going to be a few Aussies there, and there were actually, it's always great to be there and see them. So
I tell you what.
Did you catch any flack for any of that?
It's mostly in the direct messages on Instagram.
I was going to.
We have a really rabid and growing Aussie fan base, and the thing about the Aussie fan base is they all want to let you know they're a part of that fan base.
Yeah.
And it's growing a little bigger than I really wanted it to be. Like 2 or 3 guys, you're kind of like, yeah, when are we going to run into each other?
Why think
right?
you want it to be? I mean,
Well,
there you go again. Like, saying
bigger than I want it to be for as many shots as
Okay.
I've thrown to
Gotcha.
Australia. Right.
got it.
So now I'm pro Aussie. Honestly, they're my favorite fan base. Absolutely the
Oh
best.
yeah. Yeah.
So welcome,
Real deal.
welcome. To Oil and Whiskey.
It's funny though. We
welcome our guests with open arms.
We've been talking about them. We've been talking about Aussie fab shops and stuff like that since like the very first episode. Remember we talked about we could recognize the color of the steel from the shops.
You can recognize. I brought up that you could recognize their metalwork, which was a compliment because it's usually really, really good.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
great to hear
phenomenal.
from you guys.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, very interesting to follow because there is always something just about the photo, and I think what jumps out to me is the way that they metal finish everything, and it's from like frame rails down to sheet metal. I was actually just looking at something the other day, and I'm like, holy shit, that looks just like a Revo front end, like identical, something that we manufacture. So I'm like, who the fuck who knocked this thing off, And then I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, it's like the frame rails it's going, and those are finished really nicely. And then I'm like, oh, this is some dude in Australia. So then I'm like, they're a good fabricator. He's like on the other side of the world.
It wasn't a Revo front end?
No, it just looks just like it.
Just like it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Exactly like it. Well, this is an overgeneralization, but it seemed from the internet and magazines and TV, everything that I know I've seen, no matter how crazy and wild it is, you don't really see a lot of hack jobs coming from Australia. There's some wild and crazy builds, but the quality level just seems like you know, the low profile, big wheel, burnout, big ass motor and stuff, and you see stuff and you're like, holy shit, it's like really well done. Like the bumpers are tucked and the quality's really well. And
I think I know why that is. And we won't make this entire podcast about, Australia, but
sure.
I'm going to go, we might.
How do you feel being the spokesperson for a whole country?
Oh, I'm there. We're here.
I went on my honeymoon to Australia. Started in Sydney. I loved it. I mean, absolutely beautiful country. Everything was amazing. And the first thing that I realized, which was crazy, me and my wife were standing there, and I forget where we were, but it was in some like kind of, I don't know, outdoor mall type thing. And everybody you see walking by, wearing suits, like well dressed. Everybody's like kind of fit. Like is
that a thing?
You didn't see, it was a very stark
obvious
contrast from the United States, where if you were sitting in the mall, like you would see some fucking morphodites, right? And you'd see
shit ton of sweatpants.
Yeah, a lot of sweatpants. Even the pretty girls are like, it's like they just rolled out of fucking bed. Their hair is all a mess, sweatpants, big Uggs. Everybody's like so well put together. And
you're talking about Irvin there.
Well, yeah.
Although judging by statistics, I think that would be just about every country besides the United States.
I suppose.
On the fitness side of things.
Well,
we've got the records are
the city, right?
Stats say we're pretty bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I that I can't speak to, but I would agree with you, right? People do dress up a lot, and if they're still dressed down, especially the girls, they're in like workout gear. That's very popular in Australia. That became the fashion. Almost.
That's just a cultural thing?
I think so. But being fit, yeah, mostly. Don't get me wrong. You'll find that. You can find the other end of the scale somewhere, right? But yeah, no, it's definitely different. I definitely notice it here. But depending where you are, right? Spending a bit of time in LA and like just recently Scottsdale. Scottsdale is terrific. Like, yeah, people do look after themselves there.
Scottsdale's pretty.
Yeah.
Everything about Scottsdale's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
People are pretty, cars are pretty, scenery's pretty.
Car scene is fantastic.
Yeah. If you could just do away with that summer, that'd be the place.
120 degree.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah, that's nuclear. It is it is really hot.
I've been there twice, and it's
in the summer.
Brutal.
Yeah. But
I've been in Vegas in July. And
here we are talking about that, and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say Celsius. It's like -5 degrees outside right now. What is that? What is it, like 20 something Fahrenheit?
You've been here long enough.
Oh, you haven't
converted.
Fine.
That's 20 degrees
Celsius.
in America.
Is it America?
I didn't pick up on the sun. I'm like, fuck, it got down to -5 already today.
Yeah.
It's cold as shit. I didn't realize it got that cold already.
That's way
Do you
too
buy
much.
gas by the liter or do you pay for the gallon? Like
It's petrol.
I will, in all honesty, I fill the car up and I look at it and I'm like, and I convert it in my head.
Do you really?
Yeah, I can't help it.
How long?
I can't.
How long have you been in the States?
Too long for that.
Yeah, it's way too long. Yeah, I'm guilty of it. And like even my thermostat at home is in Celsius. You jump in my car, it's in Celsius. It's just, I've been with HP Tuners for 8 years. And then before that, I guess 3 years before that. Yeah, and that's when I made the jump over to automotive.
Well, let's get into what better segue.
Yeah.
Perfect for teeing that up.
Nice.
So we've known each other for a while. You said you've been there 8 years. I think we've probably known each other for 6 or 7 years through HP. Did a little digging beforehand. I saw that you were at APR. I didn't know you were with APR.
Yeah. Yep. That was actually a great time.
Did you ever go down there to Auburn?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was like my first experience to the US. Was going to
Was Auburn, Alabama?
Auburn, Alabama.
Oh my God.
Man, and you stayed?
So, well, Auburn, Alabama is a college town, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
and
you stayed.
it's an upmarket, it's I don't know how else to describe it, but it was great. I mean, it's a strange place for that type of business to start, but I think the owner went to university there.
Yeah.
College.
Right.
And it stayed. And yeah, I made some really good friends there and some great people that I still talk to now, still in the automotive industry.
That brand was kicking, especially that era.
Yep.
That was pre-sale stuff.
They had it dialed in. Yeah, they've sold 3 times now. So unfortunately, but and a lot of the great people have moved on. Some are still there, but holding on. But
I was in Birmingham in that era, right?
What?
Yeah. So APR was looked at as like, oh, how's this shit in Auburn? Like,
Yeah.
because it was, we were in the automotive industry and you saw stuff.
Help me here. I'm a little lost. I want to be able to participate in the conversation.
Oh, sorry.
It was the Audi.
Audi
Tuner.
Volkswagen tuner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I'd probably know what it
Baddest. Yeah, if you saw the logo, the red and white, the APR kind of slanted.
Not APS Head Studs. Is that the other company?
ARP.
ARP. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So very similar logo though.
Yep.
But yeah, Audi, Volkswagen tuning, and then they got into hardware as well. So
Right.
Doing like turbo kits and stuff. And they kind of
You saw that logo running around like
Yeah.
on S4s back in the day or whatever. Like, oh,
yeah.
shit's badass.
Yeah, it was good.
Wild. All right, so take us back to the Australia days.
Oh. All the way back.
How did you, we want to go through the story? That's the whole point. You had to sit here and endure all of our banter back and forth, and we need to know how you got to where you're at.
All right.
So we're of similar age.
Maybe.
I think you're older than me and
You're
look better. I
definitely
think we
fitter
touched.
than
I think we touched on that.
Better for sure. If I had to, I'd say he's half your fucking age. You could be his father.
No. Ooh. That was the
right.
death stare right there.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
There's no way you guys are the same age.
Yeah, no, I think.
I'm younger,
Yeah.
but he looks way younger. Yeah, you're probably you're what 47,
46.
46.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I
I
was
almost want to back away from the microphone.
Close. I'll be 46 in 3 weeks. So
I was
All right.
like, making a joke. I was fucking around, but he legitimately looks
Yeah.
way fucking better than
I-
you for his birthday.
I can't get mad because that's a true statement.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
And you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's this. Keeps me young.
I don't.
It's got to be the Irish.
It's got to be something else.
It's not the bourbon because we are. I guarantee beating you. In
Are you
that
sure?
department.
Yeah,
I think so.
No, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
fair
fo-
amount.
I haven't found the bourbon to be the fountain of youth.
You smoke Newports? Maybe that's the problem. So take us back. So 46 and so Australia, you'd be growing up. This would be like Mad Max was happening when you're growing up, right? That's true, right? That's a documentary.
That's all Americans.
That's what we think about.
Yeah, we just fought it back, and
All right, good.
Australia's now civilized again. I tell you what, if it wasn't for Mel Gibson, we'd be in a real sorry state.
We're gonna hit all the stereotypes.
Yeah, we certainly are. Yeah, I mean, how far back do you want to go? I mean, I didn't start in automotive. I started in IT. That was like, but I was always into cars, but I actually it's funny you say HP, right? Because we call this HPT, right? That's how we shorten it. But I actually used to work for Hewlett Packard HP.
In Australia?
Yeah, in Australia for like 10 years.
Was that because better career path? This is
Yeah, I think, and look, just
cars are a hobby and that's fun, but I want to like make a living.
so we go back to that time. We're coming up on like 2000 when I'm finishing university and things like that. So that IT
College.
was college. Yeah. Well, my high school was called the college, so it's confusing. Okay. So, but yeah, and so IT was like the way to go. And I was always into cars and computers, and I followed that progression and got into that, and I enjoyed it. But I just kept following my car dream, I guess, and I got into motorcycles. So this is how we get to this story, right? I got into motorcycles, and they were sports bikes. Just a bit crazy. Loved it, enjoyed it. But then I got hit head on the wrong side of the road.
Ooh.
Shattered my femur. Kind of busted up this hand. It was all pretty good. And so I took some time off from my IT career. And it allowed me to, it sounds weird, but it allowed me to reset. And so while I was recovering, it was like, what do I want to really do? I was enjoying what I was doing, but I really wanted to do something in the car area, like automotive sector. So while I was recovering, I was like, And I know we're skipping ahead because I got into, we haven't spoken about cars, but I got into Audis, right, later on. And there was a particular car that was kind of underpowered at the time when it came out. It was a B7 RS4, which is the 4.2 litre V8. It was naturally aspirated, revved out to 8,500 RPM. Great car, sounded great.
That's like the first kind of wide body flared.
That's the one. The
Yeah.
one that's very muscular.
Yeah, those things are
but
badass.
it sounded great, looked great, didn't go. Wasn't fast enough. Like, because all the other previous RS models were all twin turbo, awesome sauce. So you could just wind the wick up and they went real quick. This was not great. So we're like, what can I do here? Let's develop a supercharger kit for it. I mean, I'm really bored at this stage, as you could tell, right? So I met a guy who was one of the great designers in the supercharger world, and myself and two other friends put together a plan, and we developed a supercharger kit for the B7 RS4. And we were like, we don't know anything about selling in an automotive. What are we going to do? Let alone we can't tune the car, because this is before this, right? So I used my IT skills and presenting skills, put together a presentation and sent it to the different tuners around the world who were tuning Audis and Volkswagens. You see where this is going. And sent one to APR, and Stephen Hooks called me the next day. I was like, this is amazing. Can we talk? And next thing you know, we were developing this Supercharger kit together, and I got into automotive. And
oh, wow.
Long story short, like that's how I ended up working with APR, because that Supercharger kit was the development of myself and a couple other guys.
What year was that?
So
what year did you have the motorcycle wreck?
2006, I think it was.
Okay, so then that starts coming right after that.
2007. Yeah. It was 08, I think, 07, 08, 09, and I got an S5 at the time, which was also a 4.2 litre V8, and we adapted it to that whole engine platform, that 4.2 litre that was in all the Audis. This Supercharger kit could bolt onto it. Not that simple, but right? We adapted it, and then we started offering it hardware-wise to all of these vehicles, and APR started developing like the fit kit and the tuning for it, and branded it. It was basically a private label agreement, and they were branding it as their own, and it was fantastic. It was a great partnership. It was a great time to be around APR. It was because it was the OG years, right? Like it was exciting. They were growing, and once I dipped my toe into that, I didn't want to go back. Like I didn't want to go back into IT anymore, and I just doubled down.
You just called them and said, "Hey, I'm not coming back."
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I was just like, I'm going to give this a go.
I had this motorcycle wreck, and now I'm developing superchargers.
It makes no sense at all. I know, right?
I know it was my leg, but I didn't hit my head.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy first product to just kind of dabble with, right?
Just simple.
I will say the engineer that developed it, he was amazing. Absolutely. He developed a lot of OE stuff that you guys would be familiar with. He dabbled in helping with the OE design on like LS stuff in the early days for the OEs and for Eaton. And I won't say his name in case I'm getting him in trouble.
You were using existing Roots case there, or everything was?
No. So we're using a Eaton rotating group. So originally it was a 1320, TVS 1320, and then later it was a 1740. So the 1740 was a little more better suited to the high revving V8. I mean, the 1320 should have been enough, but because it revved out to over 8,000, the 1320 was just running out of air up top. So we upsized, and the 1900 blower was too wide. It wouldn't fit between the heads. So you'd have to cut a hole in the bonnet.
It's the hood for everybody listening.
Yeah.
Well, most of the people listening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, be careful.
I know.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't looked at those comments. Now that you've said it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm
going to have to jump in there and support my my fellow Australians.
Jump in.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot to that. Like you said,
there's a ton to that.
There's castings. There's all kinds of stuff.
Where do you cross paths with a guy like this? I mean, you're messing around in IT. It's not like you're rubbing elbows with like a car community.
No, not at all. So the
internet
brainstorming this idea. No, well, kinda. We started looking at who was making superchargers back then, and we didn't know too much about it.
This goes to an AOL chat room. Would be pretty exciting.
I think 06 is a little past.
Yeah, you got full blown internet. You got actual forums.
It definitely doesn't. Yeah, no. AOL. Although I still have a Hotmail email address, which people still give me a little shit about, but that's showing my age. But I'm going to hold on to it. No, I just called around, and once I found out who were the big players in making superchargers, and in Australia that was Harrop Engineering. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys use some of their gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a few of them on the shop floor.
Yeah, great gear, great shop, great operation. Heath Moore, who's the GM for it, is a great guy. They work really hard and
great dudes.
Yeah, and I called them and just said, look, I'm interested in doing this. Is this something you guys are open to? And they do custom stuff, but at that point we were thinking of just doing some custom stuff for us. But then they talked us into actually doing a proper development program. And so we then bought not a crate motor, but I guess a motor out of a car that was ruined, and started getting it digitally scanned like what you guys do outside, and figuring out what we needed to do. We mocked up something literally out of wood. And then we got onto the design, and then had that 3D printed, and that worked, and went, all right, let's go and get the sand mold made and let's get it machined and let's just give it a go and see what happens. And we ended up putting the unit on the car. I still remember this, installing it, and we just like cable tied the bypass valve open because obviously you don't want it making boost because it's not tuned.
Sure.
But we had to test it. So one of us had to be the guinea pig, and we did. And we drove that car around for honestly a month just to make sure every day that it was going to be fine and that the car didn't develop any weird vibrations because the belt was hooked up and everything.
Right.
It was spinning, but it wasn't making any boost.
It was bypassing.
Yeah, it was really good. And then once we got the tune from APR, then all hell broke loose. That thing was, you'd light up all four wheels, like first and second.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. It just transformed the car. Yeah, it was just, that's one of my favorite things to this date that I've been involved in, but also driving is just so cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a serious upgrade. What kind of power did it make?
The 1320 was in the 500 range, but the 1740 got well over 600. Yeah.
Crank, horse?
Yeah, horsepower. Yeah, not kilowatts. Sorry.
Well, crank to the crank.
Yeah. I mean, APR ran a hub dyno, so I'm just thinking back. I don't remember. So yeah, they ran, everything was on hub, so it was pretty well connected and calculated back. But it was a monster. Yeah, I mean, what was it doing down the quarter with slicks and race fuel? It did 10.3.
That's moving.
Yeah,
It's moving.
Yeah, they didn't get it quite into the nines. I know they were trying to, which would have been really exciting. But it was a manual, right? Sorry, stick.
No, manual's fine.
Yeah.
Manual's good.
I actually, that being there that day when they were dragging that car down the strip up, I don't know, I don't remember the drag strip in Alabama, but being there that day, one of the calibrators, Eric, he could shift so fast, like ridiculous. And I learned a lot of lessons there from him about how to load the transmission up, like just pull on the gear and then just when you lift off, it's just going to come out, go to the next gear. He was swapping gears like it was a DSG, right? Like just a dual clutch. It was so fast. And I was like, okay, this is a bit frightening, but yeah. A lot of no mechanical sympathy at all.
No, you can't
That's
have
the driver. That's not his job.
Right.
Drive it fast.
Build it better.
Yep.
What leader bikes that you're running then? What kind of bike did you wreck?
Ooh, bike.
CBR?
Yeah, good guess. I like it. I started with a Kawasaki. That was a ZZR. Got rid of that real fast. It was good, but moved to a Fireblade, a CBR RR. That was a 900. And then went to Yamaha R1.
Oh.
And that was beautiful.
That was a great bike.
Yeah.
Seat sucked, though.
It did.
It's just like a neoprene pad.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Did you ever ride in like the front seat, or you were always on the back?
Always on the back. It's difficult though too, and trying to hang on and stuff like that.
Is the throttle on the other? Is the throttle on the other side over there? Or do they keep it on the right side?
No. Everything's normal. It's all standard. You're all good. You're all good. Yeah, that's good. No, it was.
I hate you.
I'm proud of myself.
I know.
That was well played.
I know.
Still hanging on that one.
The sniper, man. The fucking sniper.
But it's well thought out. Always just drops.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a sniper. It
Yeah.
fucking pisses me off.
I wanted after that's the bike I had the accident on, the R1. But next was I'd ridden a few Suzukis. I love them too. The GSX 1000 and stuff. They were great. But I really wanted to at least just try a Ducati for a while. I wanted a V-twin. Yeah. I'd ridden friends like VTRs and what was a TL1000R. They were great bikes, but I just had to go the Italian route. That's actually my heritage, and I just never got there. After that accident, I was like, yeah, I think I rolled that dice and I didn't walk away. Yeah. I can walk now, so I think I'm good. I'll just
that's your one get out of jail free
that's it. Yeah, I've spent it, and it could have been a lot worse. So I think one day I will get the Ducati. It will be in the garage or on the wall or something.
Yeah, it's a nice wall piece.
I think so. It's a beautiful bike. So I kind of let that go now. Yeah.
So Supercharger thing's rolling. You and your buddies are doing that. You're working with APR. What comes next?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, what's the move like? I mean, it's tough. We've relocated some guys from like Wisconsin, even as far as like Texas.
Yep.
But that's a major undertaking. Like you're just going all in. you get a job offer and you're like, fuck it. I'll just pack up. You can't exactly get a U-Haul truck. Mm-hmm. You know, because there's a big ocean in between.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get far.
I don't know if you know where it's at.
You get some of the way.
That's a commitment. You know, how did that feel?
Okay, so I didn't move. I was bouncing back and forth between Australia and...
It's a short flight, so...
Yeah. No, it's not.
Flying into Atlanta?
Flying into Atlanta, would do the drive. And I will say, so you're doing like Melbourne, LA, Atlanta, and then you're driving, what is that? An hour?
2.5.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours.
It's a commute.
So, yeah. And originally I would just do it all in one go. Like I'd do the overnight flight to LA, then I'd do the day flight to, connecting flight to Atlanta. By the time you get there, it's nighttime now in Atlanta, and then you drive for 2+ hours. And yeah, it was no surprise as I got older, because I'm old, you start falling asleep, right? Like where you're doing that drive, it's just not good. So I had to stop doing it. And
it's probably best to get out of Atlanta at night though, before the traffic.
Yeah, but that's a road. That road from Atlanta to Auburn is not a road you want to fall asleep on.
Oh no, yeah, no, you don't.
There's not a lot of room for forgiveness.
No, there's not, and it's
cows, deers, and trees.
Yep.
So you probably have very little, if not no, mercy for HP Tuners employees who maybe are bitching because there's a little bit of traffic coming from Chicago. And
we just got back from SEMA. I got to come to work on Monday.
Took them a little longer to get in today. You're like, son, let me tell you about my commute. I used to commute from Australia to California, from California to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta all the way down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it might be my generation too. Like, I enjoy going to the office. I want to go to the office because this means a lot to me. I learn a lot from the people that I work with. I want to do face-to-face interactions. I think there's a generation difference now where people, and I get it, they want to work from home a lot, but they're missing out on that. And so for me, I want to encourage it. I do want people to have interpersonal skills, and I want them to come to the office and enjoy that. And I want them to get along, right? And if they're working from home, it's really hard to do.
Right.
And it's always the minority that make it difficult for the majority who can go home on a Wednesday, whatever, and work from home and get their job done if they can, right?
Sure.
But then the ones that are taking advantage, they kind of ruin it. Right, which is sad.
That's just life. It's the way it always goes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So for me, I mean, there's no such thing as too far. It doesn't really matter. I just did it. I don't know if I'd do it now.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Actually, that's a total lie. It was great back then. I enjoyed it. Met a lot of great people. Got to see the US. I mean, a very different part of the US. Atlanta's very different again to Auburn, Alabama, right?
It's a little different.
Yeah. So car culture there is crazy as well. It's just different.
There's so many different, so many different car cultures in such a small area.
So the first time I saw, and I know what you call it.
A donk.
You knew exactly what I was going to say.
You're talking about Atlanta, and you were saying, I don't know what to call it, so it's a donk.
Yeah, okay.
100%.
So the first time I saw that, I was driving along, and this car just pulled up beside me, and the wheels were easy, like 28 inches. Or something, and there was like this much tire.
Got to be 26 at least to be considered a donk, but
yeah. And you could like lie down on the road. This car could just drive clean over you, and you would.
What color?
All of them.
Pink.
Pink.
It was pink. I remember it to this day. It was just, but there had to be no suspension movement on this car at all.
Sure.
It was just rigid.
Wheels are just
tucked in
right
on
on the wheel.
That era, there would have, it would have been a sketchy build.
That was before they actually got like super sophisticated. I mean, they're impressive now.
Yeah, there was
power in the suspension, and we used to have one running around here. There was two. We had a box and a bubble.
That was Devin Hester.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, the Bears kick returner.
What was it? Was like Tony the Tiger or something on it? Remember,
one was all Louis Vuitton, and the other was
it was like Fruit Loops or something.
Fruit Loops or Frosted Flakes or something.
Yeah, the whole thing was themed like that. You just see it cruising down over by Home Depot here, down 60.
Fair amount of experience with them, as a matter of fact. So the back in the day was the NASCAR liveries was huge, right? So you had the The M&M was one you had. Everything was in NASCAR. But it was 26 or 28s, even as big as 30s there for a while. But there was no high horsepower doing suspension and making them fast. It was just, let's get the biggest wheels possible and the biggest stereo possible in the flashiest color. So a lot of 4-wheel drive spring swaps in the front, and a lot of body lifts. A lot of body lifts on donks that to get them up where they needed to be. And then they started progressing into Z in the frames and
Zing them down.
Yep.
We're used to going up.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And that's when it started getting that the axles generally were the things that couldn't handle it. Axles are the spindle pins on the front, and there started to be a lot of carnage on the interstates with those.
Losing a whole knuckle assembly.
Yeah, and a 30-inch wheel
everything.
crossing lanes and going stuff like that. So then they started cracking down on stuff, and then people started making them like safe making them do stuff.
Yeah, it was a first for me.
Seeing it the first time when it rolls by you are like, where the hell am I? That's something I've never ever seen before.
Yep. No, it was a lot, and seeing it parked as well, being able to walk up to it and look underneath, and it's like, hang on, this car is really high. It was just that does not exist in Australia at all. And there's a lot of different cars, a lot of different car culture, but I'd just never seen that before. So not certainly not my style.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got,
but cool.
Everybody's got car culture of different. Everybody's listening is gonna be like, oh, it's nothing like the South is definitely different because of so many different hyper crazy wild builds of all different types makes. I mean, because you could have 3 of those donks rolling, 3 deep on the interstate, right? Beating the trunk lid out, right, with bass. And then you could have 2 little Civics go by, and they're loud, and they're sub 10-second cars, right? Big intercooler on the front rolling by, What? Then you've got fast ass Honda. Then you've got a couple of Mustangs, right? Some Fox bodies, and the whole thing was you see that little sump on the bottom. Like, don't fuck with that car. That's a fast one.
When you see those Dash 10s,
oh yeah,
hanging on the back, then you're like, oh.
And then you've got turbo Hayabusas, running through badass street bike, stretch swing arm stuff, and then you've got lifted trucks, of all kinds of shapes inside. Then you got your traditional muscle cars, and it's just so much. I mean, we had a big thing downtown Birmingham, and it's still going on. It's been going on for years, right? And there'd be anywhere from 800 to 1,200 cars on a Saturday night, just take over downtown, and it was everything. It was all that stuff. You could see everything.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's got car meets and everybody's got stuff. Like you have one thing you didn't have was any supercars, right? Yeah. None of that stuff.
I don't even know how would you describe, like, when we in the early 2000s, if you went to a cruise night here in the Midwest, how would you even describe that?
It was all muscle cars on Craigers, and then a couple of PT Cruisers or
turn into
Prowlers,
turn into sedan deliveries or something.
Oh, Woodies.
Yeah, the Woody. Yep.
So Australia, for that, was 2 types of cars. It was either
Holden.
the Australian muscle car, right? So Holdens, Falcons, like Tiranas, Kingswoods.
Sure.
And so there was that crowd, and you don't mess with some of those cars either. They had some really great high horsepower cars, and they were typically beautiful as well, really well finished. But then there was the Japanese car culture as well, which was Skylines, GTRs, Supras, Evos, WRXs or STIs, and they were highly sought after in Australia because they were easy to import because they're right-hand drive.
Yep.
And Japan wasn't far away, and the Australian dollar typically was pretty good. So getting those cars in, and there was less of a restriction like you guys do here. I think what's the age?
It's 25 years
25
now.
years, yeah. So I think R34s are just getting in now, R34 GDRs. But Australia's had them for a long time. And now, because the US is bringing them in, the price of R34s in Australia have just gone through the roof. Because obviously they're open up now to the US market.
Oh,
so
wow.
And the US dollar's strong, so they can snap up R34s in Australia a lot easier. And
there was no Skyline stuff around. There was RX-7s and Supras, and those were considered like supercars. Those were rare. There was a couple of stupid fast RX-7s.
That was sold here, right, back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There was a US spec Mark IV Supra, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. that's right. And then RX-7, the last rotary. Yeah,
Yeah, there was a couple of dumb fast RX-7s.
Yeah.
Like
That's a car I
put it on the back bumper fast.
I'd like to have. I always liked those.
Cool car.
Yeah.
Really cool car.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they looked like mini Vipers back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah, the kind of the styling of it.
It's strange.
Crazy engine.
Yeah, I don't know much
Yeah, it
about
still doesn't make sense
Like
how
a,
that
it's like a
works.
fucking rubber band motor or something in there.
Yeah,
That's just how that works.
And the more you work
Just
it,
keep stacking them.
yeah, it just makes the strangest bop bop noise, right? It's just like, yeah, it's really, really weird. But wow, they're fast, right, when they worked. And I had friends that were in both kind of groups. Guys that were just obsessed with the Skylines and Supras and Evos and stuff like that. And then others that had spent all their time money building a Tirana. And but they kept it carby actually back then. That was the popular thing to do, was not actually to I guess LS swap it, right? It was, well, hang on.
So
LS.
what did you call it?
A carburetor. Carby?
Oh, okay. Got it.
Carby?
So-
No?
okay.
How do you say it? Are you making fun of me now?
no,
No,
I just
I'm
didn't-
trying to
yeah.
learn.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, never heard it.
Never heard
Really?
of it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's first time.
I'm trying to like nod, like I know what you're talking. I'm like, oh yeah. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, right, yeah. So, and I think Tiranas there were 6 cylinders and there were 8 cylinders as well. So they were V8s, but guys would work both of them, and they were amazing. They were really, really great cars. Have you had any Australian muscle cars come through?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No,
So no Kingswoods.
never seen one in person. I mean, I'm familiar with like the
Designed a
Holdens.
chassis for, was it a Falcon?
Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a XY, older, like 2-door.
Yes. 70, mid 70s, I think.
Mad Max car. How about that? Does that make
Could
sense?
be.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Mad Max car is.
I know the Mad Max car.
Yeah, Mad Max car.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty
What's
cool.
a Kingswood?
Kingswood is it actually looks like a Chevy Nova.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so badass.
Was it GM? Is that the GM backed deal?
So I don't know.
The Holden's GM, right?
So yes, but I don't know the level of involvement between the two cars. But when you look at them, if I showed you a Kingswood, you just go, oh my God, that's a Chevy Nova.
Okay.
Straight away, right down to the door handles. And that's what my dad had. He had a Kingswood. And you know, you're talking about Adrienne's, and you saw Adrienne's Monte Carlo, and the door handles on that are exactly the same as a Kingswood as well, which
Okay.
is really freaky. I walked up to her car and was like, it just, you know, you just get that flashback, like I'm just getting into my dad's car back in the 80s.
That's wild.
Yeah, right. It's cool. And his brother back then, his brother's first car was a Tirana as well, but that was a V8. I think a SLR 5000, like crazy V8 thing. Everyone listening to this now will probably get out Google and go SLR 5000. What is that? And they'll bring it up and they'll go, holy shit.
But you were import guy.
We should Google it. We
Yeah.
should Google it.
I kind
because
of want to see what it looks
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
What are we googling?
Yeah, Google up SLR 5000. Yeah, do that. So
Don't say what your first car was,
okay.
because I've got a good guess.
We're never going to guess it.
I think it's a Scirocco.
No,
Is it
That's
the
actually
Volkswagen?
Yeah, those are kind of
cool
cool.
car, but no.
Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I just was seeing a Scirocco because he became an Audi guy. That's fine.
I did.
I shot and missed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I actually have never owned a Volkswagen. So, yeah, let's see if this comes up. There we go. Yeah, you got it. So pick any of those. Have you seen that before?
Never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Like a Celica.
Did they come with the flares factory or
click,
is that a,
click the orange one on the that one. Yeah, that guy there. That's probably a better view. Yep.
It's like a Toyota. It says Holden though.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. I'm
I'm not sure if that's an insult or a
no,
compliment.
but it looks 70s Toyota. There was some like the Corolla and some of that stuff.
and it was small.
front end's kind of Vega-esque?
It was small. Yeah, actually, I think that's what it was based off, right? I don't think, and I don't know, but I don't think many of those cars didn't have inspiration from the US in terms of the development, but I don't know.
Just
Because there's a lot of similarities and a lot of shared parts from what I can see. So, but I don't know much about them. Yeah, I had friends that were into these cars, and they were amazing, but they were really expensive to build.
yeah.
And back then, I didn't have that money. So yes, I got into Japanese cars as my
SLR
first car.
5000.
That was a V8.
It does have the Vega,
was a V8.
the Vega-ish front end.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, you look at others, you've got, like, I guess late 70s Nova kind of shit back here a little bit.
All right. Yeah,
It almost looks like a Russian or a Polish car. Like where they just
All right. Now you're going to
said, let's build a car.
Aussies are going to roll up on you now, man. That's it. It's happening.
Is that
the other one?
is that a big? That car is like
That's
a
an
big
icon.
thing.
That's
Still-
an icon.
That's an icon.
Yeah,
to
for sure.
this day, is that
Yeah.
somebody would resto mod, or would somebody put that back to like its original?
I haven't seen resto mods of them. I only see people running them effectively original. Besides wheels, right?
Okay.
You see people put their flavor on their style on the wheels. But I was going to ask you to do that next. Well, I wouldn't click on that one. That's terrible.
Well, it says Mazda's Kingswood.
Yeah, that's.
I'm trying to learn.
So they imported them.
Mazda did
Yeah, for a short period of time, and then in all their
that
wisdom,
front wheel opening.
in all of their wisdom, this is testing my knowledge. They put a frickin' 4-cylinder in it.
Did they really?
No, Mazda did. Sorry, Mazda.
It looks like when you look at that gold one, it looks like it's missing like a centered door. It looks like a shortened car.
It
Almost
does.
Like
It does.
Murray Pfaff shortened it.
Yeah. No, I don't.
But click on it. Look at that side profile.
The brown one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. The roof, the roof line, and but that's a Holden as well.
Yep.
So
That's a Kingswood.
this shows how stupid we are. So Holden, how many cars did Holden manufacture, or did they manufacture anything?
Oh my god.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
because
It's
you
like-
have so much, you have correlation with GM, but then you're saying
Where's the camera, guys? I'm sorry. Camera's there.
That's
sorry.
why you're here.
Yeah,
It's
guys. I'm sorry.
you can't fault us for not. Y'all are fucking all the way. You're upside down. You're all the way on the
Yeah.
other side of the thing. We don't. But Holden, as far as a car company,
Yeah, they made.
you've got Kingswood coming in from Mazda.
No.
It's a Holden,
No. Okay.
right?
Just let
Okay.
him lay it out. For us.
Tell me,
All right,
explain to me.
Give us the rundown.
Yeah, so Holden made the Kingswood. They exported it to Mazda a very short period of time, but the Kingswood was made in Australia. Actually, it was made in Adelaide, South Australia, is
Okay.
where Holden's plant was. Ford's plant is in Geelong, which is in Victoria, which is close to Melbourne, which is where I'm from. So it's kind of strange. So Victoria is more of a Ford state. Adelaide or South Australia is more of a Holden state because that's where the factories were. But Toyota also made cars in Australia for quite a long time in Victoria, and so did Mitsubishi for a little while, but they got out a long time ago. They're all gone now, which is really sad. But everything was made. Ford made the Falcons in Australia. Holden made the Commodores in Australia. Even the Chevrolet SS that you get here, the Chevy SS, that was made in Australia.
Okay.
Yep, and exported. It's really strange.
What about the
'cause-
GTO?
Yeah, same.
The later GTO
Yeah.
was built in Australia.
Yep.
And exported.
Yep. Which is really strange because that car here, especially the Chevy SS, I thought would be received well here.
Nobody knew about that. They did a horrible job on like the marketing and just getting it out to people. I
The
feel like.
Impala.
And by horrible job, you mean they just didn't market it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
No, not
secret.
the Impala SS.
Yeah.
There was just a Chevy
It was like a
SS.
4-door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the Pontiac G8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the newer version of it.
Yeah.
So what was factory was LS3. You could get it in manual or auto. You could get it
It was
as
a good car.
yeah, you could get it as a wagon, and then
You couldn't get a wagon here.
oh, you couldn't. Okay, you could also get it as a Ute.
Could not get it as a Ute here either. Right. Yeah.
Right. That was cool.
We had a Silverado.
You do. That's pretty badass. Yeah, yeah. You also, yeah. You know, I have no comeback to that. So, but you also have the Ranger Raptors, popular.
Yeah, the Ranger Raptor's super popular.
Yeah. But the company that would do up the Holdens was HSV, Holden Special Vehicles, and they would just trick them all up. So that's where you would get a Commodore, effectively, that would end up with an LSA in it. They never put the LT engines in it, which was a bit sad, but the last rendition came with an LSA, which was pretty great. So you could get a sedan, or I don't know if you could get a wagon, but you get a manual sedan that's seated, 4 or 5 adults pretty comfortably. You get manual or auto, and it was LSA. I mean, that's pretty great. It's
That'd
kind
be
of
a
like
blast.
CT. What was the Cadillac? The CT, not the CT5, a CTSV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CTSV before that. It was that kind of car, but not as expensive.
Have you ever driven one of those GTOs? The
Yeah.
LS6 one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to.
Good.
Those things disappeared.
Yeah, those
They're old now.
They're hanging out with the Dodge Nitros somewhere.
Oof.
Wherever.
That's a different. That's a
Where-
different
where
crowd.
did
They
that
don't hang out
Well, it's
together.
another one that disappeared. I'm saying
Disappeared, yeah.
they're like just gone.
Was it a fun car to drive?
I mean, it's just like a what 4th gen Camaro, basically, like ish.
A little
like,
bigger, heavier,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
It looks like a slipper. Like
I know the
styling
car that it looks
standpoint,
like.
you know,
You've said that before. Yeah, it looks like a little ballet slipper.
Did I say that before?
You've said it
Oh,
before.
Well,
yeah.
then I mean it.
No, I know. I'm not.
Yeah,
It wasn't a shot. Yeah, you 100%
No, I mean it's
mean it.
I guess like you see some guys mod them out.
They can
They're
be
fast.
pretty
Probably
quick.
a good, nice little platform to.
Yeah, I kind of wanted one for a while. They're just a little different, a little weird. But I'm traditionally not a Pontiac guy.
Yeah, they had a different front end here. I'm pretty sure they changed it, especially the Chevy. No, G8s. They put like the Pontiac grill on.
Right.
So they were a little different. But the 2-door was called a Monaro in Australia. And that was very popular because that was named after that same generation that we're looking at here. So if you look up Monaro, that was a very, very popular cult car in Australia. And that did that did very well in like V8 supercars. Yeah, so that's what you get here as, what do you call it?
The GTO.
The GTO. Yeah, but there's a Monaro. See this? Yeah, the white one further down. There you go.
Yeah, the old one. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
2-door, beautiful, worth a lot in Australia. Yeah, 70s, 1970. Yeah,
Now
awesome.
that's a cool car.
Looks like
Yeah.
an AMC
So,
something.
I mean, I guess the short version is Dad had a 4-door version of that, but the 2-door is just very cool. Look at that, it's a Carby.
Yeah.
Carby.
So that's what. Okay, now I'm finally I'm a little late to the party, but carburetor.
Yeah,
carbureted.
Carburetor.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
bonnet.
Boot.
What was the bonnet made out of?
Oh, back then,
It wasn't out.
probably cast iron.
You know what you wanted to go with.
Yeah.
Wasn't aluminium?
I know you were trying to get him to.
Yeah, no, aluminium.
How did they change the car culture there from like the performance cars are these like they're basically like in the States those are like sedans. You've got these 4-doors and even the GTO or the Holden, it's like looks like a sedan. And then when I see like car culture there, you see the biggest, baddest motor with the tallest supercharger in the smallest body with the fattest tires doing the nastiest burnouts ever.
Look at that. That is very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that? What is that whole thing called? Is that when I'm like flipping through Instagram late at night,
I used to get the old magazines.
you just see something that's just they're ripping like donuts in like a 3,000 horsepower
So-
super.
Remember the videos too, the VHS videos?
Yeah. I'm
All,
gonna.
the Supernats or street.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna sum it up. Summernats.
Yeah, Summer Nats. That's what it was.
That's the next thing you need to like bring up is Summernats. That's that car culture. Again, not my style, but awesome. A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know how they got there. They just got more and more out there with horsepower, and the bigger the blower, the bigger the motor. You basically can't see out the front. Basically Mad Max, right? Like you just can't see out the front. And
Told you it was real.
Yeah, it is totally real. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a whole nother level. Those guys that do that, they spend a lot of time and money and effort getting those cars to that level, and then they just go out there and they'll actually drive them, which is freaking awesome.
That's I remember seeing. I actually had some of those videos and Summer Nats and stuff. I feel the same way of like, how does that come from? But we've got to take ourselves out and look at us
From the pro street era.
look at this Carolina Squat. Look at donks.
Yeah, but I
Look,
don't understand that. Honestly, either of those, the Carolina Squad.
I know that you don't understand, but what I'm saying is just because we don't understand this, there's people want to modify in their way, and it takes off and goes where it goes.
I suppose
It's a crazy different.
Yep.
I mean,
self-expression.
100% different, wild, whatever. I mean, no different than, even back in the day on like 44-inch Thornbirds, right?
Yeah.
With stock brakes, and 15-inch wheels and stuff, and stock motor isn't that much smarter.
I don't know, it looked pretty cool. pretty fucking badass, dude.
I get
Like
it.
Thornbirds?
You get where? Yeah, fucking awesome. Yeah, or some TSLs, right? And some Swampers, right?
That was because you didn't need exhaust then, because your tires made more noise going down the road than any motor could.
My point is like there's
To each his own.
to each his own, 100% to each his own.
All right. Now that we've educated ourselves on
What happens next?
Australian car culture and everybody that's listening,
Right.
HP Tuners.
Oof.
How do you end up there? Where does that start?
Yeah, wow. I've known one of the owners for a very long time, Chris Piastri, and he's originally from Melbourne.
It's a pretty famous last name.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, wow.
How long have you known Chris?
Maybe 15, 12. Yeah, somewhere between 12 and 15.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, I met Chris through my automotive thing that I got going, and bumped into him here and there, and I guess, I don't know, I wouldn't say that we became friends like instantly. It's not that at all. It's just we got chatting about, what was going on in the HP Tuners world and what I was doing, and I guess he liked it, and then we would catch up occasionally, and then we sat down, and it was kind of a job offer, but not a job offer, if you know what I mean. He's like having that conversation and like just floated this idea, and I guess I didn't jump at it straight away because I wasn't sure what was going on, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm enjoying what I'm doing and this and that. And then he said, you should just go and meet Dean in Chicago. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, well, I'm going to be in the US at this time, and I'm actually going to Michigan to meet with a few people, and I can probably make it over to Chicago. It's a short drive.
Did he say Chicago or did he say Buffalo Grove?
He said Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we all say.
Right. You're not going to say Buffalo Grove.
So I'm glad you said that, right? Because like in Australia too, right? When somebody says, where are you from? I'm not going to say the suburb that I grew up in, because you're not going to know it. Yep. I'm just going to say Melbourne.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I also here I notice people will say, no, I'm from some strange, obscure little city thing here. And I'm like, cool, where's that?
Yeah.
You just need to tell me, you need to give me a big city reference. Otherwise, I've got no idea.
We run into it from here in California. So anybody within like 100 miles of Chicago is from Chicago.
Right. Yeah. Totally fine.
LA, you have to be like within 2 square feet of like the dead center of LA to be considered LA.
Right.
Everywhere it's just the suburb that's the next one over, and you're insulting them by saying you're from LA. Yeah. I think like most of Southern California is LA.
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah. It's not San Francisco. It's LA.
San Francisco, LA, and San Diego.
Yeah,
It's the whole state.
I was going to
And
say
then there's
San
some
Diego.
shit up north
Yeah.
that's basically Oregon.
Right.
A little bit of desert here and there, and everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, wow. So I made the trip over, and I thought, yep, no worries. I'll come over and I'll meet with the guys. Phil, please.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to twist your arm, mate. So I go over and I met with the team, the leadership team at the time, and the other owner, which is Keith Prochek, and spoke to them about what I was doing, what was happening at the time. It's all you. And it was great. I had a great time meeting them, and they're like, all right, let's go out to dinner tonight. You've made the drive over, and Keith just propositions me like at dinner, like in front of everyone. There's like six or seven, literally on the spot. Just goes, all right, we want you to come work for us. Would you like to, do this? And I'm just like, what? Like, I legitimately thought they were just being hospitable, right? And they were just taking me out because I'm not from there, which is really great. And it made me smile because they're great guys. The two owners are just, like, we're still owner-owned, right? Which is just great for us. And they're engineers. And, I took it away and I thought about it overnight, but I already knew my answer. Like, I wanted to do it. I wanted to jump on board because it seemed like a great company. And, it's like, it's been an amazing ride ever since. It's just, HP Tuners has just gone from strength to strength.
What was your answer right there at dinner?
Oh, I wanted to say yes, but
You were playing it cool.
I totally. Look, in my mind, I played it cool. but I was probably like shaking and you know what I mean? Like,
So you're thinking the whole way flight
know,
home what your plan is.
it's that two versions, right? In my mind, I was like, cool.
Yeah, know what, dude?
Yeah, let me think about it.
I appreciate it.
I'll get back to you. But then really, I was probably shaking and sweating and smiling and giggling and who the frick knows what I was doing. But yeah, but in my mind, that's what I did. But yeah, I called them back the next day. Actually, no, that's a lie. I got back to the hotel and I called Chris that night. And I just went, you fucking bastard. And he just laughed. That's exactly what he did. He just laughed straight back.
I like that style, though.
Yeah.
He's putting you on the spot.
He knew straight away. He's like, yeah. He goes, I didn't want to tell you. And I'm like, okay, all right. I said, leave it with me for 24 hours at least. Give me 24 hours just to... Because it was a big move. And Illinois, cool. Fucking cold.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Summers are awesome. Winters are terrible.
But spring, summer, and fall are amazing.
They are.
And winter's honestly not that bad.
We get like 2.5 great seasons.
Yeah.
And then it goes to shit.
Yeah.
Just don't be a bitch. It'll be fine.
I've lived here my whole life. I guess I'd be considered a bitch.
It's so fucking cold.
I have like meltdowns, and I'm like, why the fuck do I still live here?
Do you know what? Yeah, I've manned up, dude. I'm like, in 2 weeks, I'm out. I'm heading back to Australia.
Have fun.
Yeah, I am. It's summer.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
How long you be there for?
I'm there till the end of Jan. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I kind of work remotely and bank up some of my holidays so that I can do that. Spend time with, friends, family, everything, and reconnect with that region. I take advantage of it too, try and do a bit of work in the region as I can while I'm there. But yeah, I mean, skipping out of winter here I'm not sad about at all.
Yeah.
Plus, the food and coffee. If you guys are coffee people, like coffee in Australia is insane. Like
what?
Yep.
World's best cup of coffee?
Look, I can't say that, but there's like, our guest is like nodding in the background who's been there and, he's
I love some good coffee.
Yeah, dude. You need
It's that much better, huh?
Yep.
Can we order beans, Australian beans? Or is it the same? Is it?
No. It's not that. It's about how they prep them, store them, serve them, everything. So
You just got to be there to get it.
You do. But you guys are just going to come.
Yeah, I'd love to go back.
Yep.
It's a great place.
Find a good business reason for you guys to get over.
We need to do some business.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go Mr. T style and just get knocked out before that plane ride.
We need to talk to. We need to do some.
Yeah.
We need to do some HP Tuners business. And I mean, you're going to be there till the end of January. It doesn't make any sense to do it here when we can do it there.
We were just talking about this on the last podcast we did. He's going out to Japan, another place I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, Dave Shutton.
Yeah, the Moon Eyes.
Oh, nice.
The Moon Eyes car show is something I've always wanted to do. Always wanted to go to Goodwood Festival of Speed.
done that.
Love Australia.
You wanted to blow off Thanksgiving. You were like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to do. You guys, of all people, need to do Goodwood.
We want to do Goodwood.
Yeah. You really do. It's amazing.
We never get out of the country. Our job never carries us out of the country.
We also don't plan far enough in advance. We think about it the week of.
Let's plan a Goodwood trip.
It always lands right on like Columbus Good Guys. It's right like in
Let's
July.
plan a Goodwood trip.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah. No, you don't have to. Yep. You just say the word.
Let's do it.
It's a great time.
We can do two things at once.
It's what? From here, it's 7-hour flight, so it's not too bad.
I don't think that's terrible.
No, you're okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that one's doable. The Australia flight's tough. The worst part about it is the 4-hour flight to California, which is tough in itself, and then
and then the fucking plane having to flip over and all that shit.
Yeah, but that happens quick.
But you don't feel it. It just gets inverted. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
I went into this, I was 24,
fucking fans are gonna
24 years old. And I'm thinking, I'm getting on a plane and we're going to Australia. So in my mind, I picture it's like this double-decker thing. When you get tired, or you get, antsy, you get up, you go to the bar upstairs.
Like what you watch on TV? There's no bar.
It's a regular old economy plane. It's just nothing different. And there's a couple sitting next to us. And as we sit down, the wife sits down, and then the husband, he files in, and he's got an infant, like a newborn.
Oh, no.
And then they ask for the little...
A real one?
Yeah, a real one. They ask for the bassinet.
When was the last time you were on a plane and it wasn't a real one?
They come and
Don't answer that.
they come and they clip it into the back of the seat to the left of them. So we're sitting there.
No.
And there's an infant, a newborn infant here, and there's me and my wife.
Y'all taking off yet?
No, it was...
You just went.
It was rough.
5 bourbons, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of bourbons, couple of sleeping pills.
Keep
Yeah.
coming.
Boom.
Yeah. Slip the fucking baby some bourbon.
All right.
Go sleep.
Do a business trip in business class so you can sleep. Right? Absolutely do it. And I'll absolutely do Goodwood Festival of Speed with you guys, but you got to get to Australia. You really have to see the car culture there. It's
All right, it's happening.
Yeah. It's a worth trip.
Before 2025 is over, we'll be in Australia.
Oh, I will be the host.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
you should definitely host it, and we should have enough customers that would love to have us show us around a little bit.
Without a doubt.
Some great shops.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the Ring brothers. I think they're just more likable guys, maybe.
Really?
Than us. I don't know, but
I
they
think people like Jim.
I think so. I think they appreciate his like brutal honesty. Maybe
Yeah,
they got a
fun loving.
I think it was, they've got a New Zealand customer that brought them out there, and they spent like 2-3 weeks or something,
Yeah.
maybe longer, and just like had the time of their lives.
Yeah. You got to do it. It's got to be on the list for you guys. You got to get over there.
We're doing it.
So
It's right here, recorded.
I didn't answer part of your question. I don't think. Like we kind of touched on it. But when we were like how I started, and I got into HP Tuners, obviously, and we just dangled the little carrot about the Piastri name, right? And that's been a wild ride.
There's going to be people listening. They're going to be like, hey, what?
Piastri.
Get to that. Get to that. I just heard that name. Get to
Piastri.
that.
Yeah, right. It's so I mean, I met Oscar when he was very young, like I think 14, yeah, something like that.
So he's not even in like any form. He's
16 maybe. No. He's he just gotten into Formula 4. He just gotten out of kart racing, which he did very well in Australia, and he moved into Formula 4 in Europe, and he had to move there to do it. And that's about the time when I met Oscar. And he was this little kid. Sorry, Oscar. But just super cool, calm and collected, and just chill. I don't know how to describe him, right? I'd met him. I was just like, who is this kid? And how is he just so chill all the time, no matter what's going on? And he just impressed the team when he trialed the F4 stuff. And for those that are listening that know, he rapidly made his way through the Formula Series, and he's now a McLaren Formula 1 driver driving with Lando.
No shit.
So,
dude, I didn't know. I like live
Are you
under
serious?
a rock.
Oscar Piastri. Yeah, he's pretty
Literally live under
pretty
a rock.
big fucking
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
So Chris,
Yeah.
his dad,
he's yeah,
co-founder of HP Tuners.
yeah.
At that point, when you meet Oscar, he's 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
HP Tuners exists at that point, right?
Yeah, so HP Tuners is actually 20 years old this year.
20.
20
Wow.
years old. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's a lot of movement in 20 years, man. They're
yeah, it is.
on the gas.
A lot of look. They did really, really great, turning a hobby, I guess, into an amazing business. Keith and Chris have just been spectacular. They doubled down. They tried this, and they thought, we want to do this. We need a better tuning solution, because back then, what was out? LS1 Edit. I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't even know who made that. I forget.
We don't have to go too deep, but how does Chris Piastri from Melbourne, Australia, get to Buffalo Grove to start HP Tuners?
No. So Chris is still in Australia.
Okay. All right.
So his business partner, Keith Project.
So Keith is Buffalo Grove.
Yeah, he's Buffalo Grove. Yeah,
Okay.
well, I say Buffalo
He's a
Grove.
GT. Is it GT3? GT
TA2.
T8. Okay.
TA2 driver. So, and he's ultra competitive. Love the guy. Holy crap. If there's a competition, if there's a race, Keith will absolutely have a go. So we do like karting at the office very regularly. And Keith will like look at the karts and like, all right, that's the fastest one. I'm getting in that. And he
You gotta set him up. You gotta fuck with that cart.
Oh my God, he will school everyone. He's actually very, very good. So I've come close, but I've never beaten him. So I mean, Keith and Chris are just two peas in a pod.
We need to do a Roadster Shop versus HP Tuners kart race night.
Oh my God.
Smoke us.
Right, dude. We have like no formal training. Not at all.
No.
They've got a lot of employees too.
No, so I tell you what we need to do.
They're probably tuning their own carts like remotely.
No, we go to it. We don't bring carts. We go to
they've got the K1 track in Buffalo Grove.
I know. We'll go
it's
there.
Probably like walking distance from where you are.
Yeah, it's right next door. Yeah, we can walk there. No.
We'll go to an off-site location.
What we need to
untainted.
When Chris is back here, which he does come, we'll tee up a time with you guys, and you need to get them both on here at the same time. Let's do it.
That would be amazing.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, you guys would love that. That'll be a great story.
That would be. It's such an interesting company. I mean, I can't think of another company that's such a household name, right? Like you just think HP Tuners is just like
it crosses all. Yeah, it crosses all spectrums.
Every single genre, and it's just a powerhouse, man. It's such an incredible brand. It's
short of a tire manufacturer. I don't know if there's anything that's across all genres. But it's got this
like provenance.
It's got this provenance and this mystique and this brand that just exists, right? And that's a great thing, right? And you see faces, and you've got a couple of great guys that we know, and there's people, but the brand is bigger than the people. But the brand is made up of people. You know what I'm saying? That's the. I'm explaining fucking horribly.
No.
But it looks to me like I could be driving down like I-94, like on my way to the city, and you would see a massive office building, like 20, 30 stories tall. It could have a HP Tuners logo up on the top. Like it just seems like this monster.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It does, and the thing to credit your entire team. Maybe it was last year. Y'all did the little cars and coffee thing, right?
Yeah.
And sent an invite. So. Think y'all were out of town, and my son he was 18 on the 30th, so 3 days ago, something like that. So we've talked about this on the podcast. He cared nothing about cars until like 15 and a half, and then it was all of a sudden I know everything about cars and I got to have something, right? Cool. So fine, no problem. Last year,
build me a car, Dad.
Yeah. So he's an Audi guy, right? He's an Audi guy, yeah.
All right, I'm liking this right now.
So you have this cars and coffee, right? He's got his car done up, right? He's got a little A5, it's slammed on, some Vossens, and he's got.
He needs to start with an S or an RS. Come on,
what's going on? He got it when he was 16, right? His son's Blaze. His name's
Blaze. Hit that up.
No, he can.
Yes.
He can do what. He's 18 now.
Okay.
He can buy whatever he wants and can afford.
He should have.
If you've seen his driving record, maybe not the best.
He's lucky to have a vehicle.
Yeah.
He's a good kid, but he's unfortunately
got the need for speed.
He takes after me in all the wrong ways. Anyway, you got this cars and coffee thing, whatever. So, I think I bring a Chevelle, and him and his buddy take his car. Right. I'm like, hey, we're going to HP Tuners. He's like. Well, I mean, like, what do you mean? He's like, he knows HP Tuners. So we pull in there and he's like, you know these guys? And that's the time I'm like, what do you mean know these guys? They know me. like, yeah, park wherever we want to.
And then somebody comes up like, excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, these are for employees' cars. You need to park over there. I was like, yeah, see, like, that's fine. We'll park over there because that's what they asked us to do. That's fine, but no big deal. But he's just in awe. He's like, so cool. He's looking. I mean, he's of that age where that computer shit. Like I'm not that. I'm not a tech guy, right? I know what does what, right? Mm-hmm. But he's like, he gets it. He understands it. He knows all of the the tuning and the stuff. All he does is consume YouTube videos and stuff. But I guess the whole point of the whole story was talking about from the old hot rod guy that's building a 32 Ford that's doing, fuel injection with an LS or something like that, knows HP Tuners as his solution. And the 18-year-old kid, right, that knows HP Tuners as the brand that makes all things go fast. That's fucking something cool.
Dude,
it really is.
It's beyond fucking cool to hear that from you guys. And like, I appreciate you saying all of that, but you guys are there in terms of hot rod, resto mod, everything, right?
Okay. You know us.
Okay, I know.
We're not really there. Right? We're not that smart.
No, I disagree. But like hearing you guys say that, because you guys are that level, right? I will call it everything's measured by a Porsche 911, right? didn't mean to look at you at that time. I totally did. I can't help but smile, right? Like, I love that HP Tuners is thought of as that, and that was our goal. And we have an amazing team, and that's really all there is to it. Like, the engineers, first and foremost, that make the product are just legends. And these guys just work their guts out to get what's done. And we really double down on the rest of the business to get it to the point where it is that respected brand, and it is that sought after brand. And I'm not saying that it wasn't before, but it was definitely different. If you guys remember like early, like 2015 and before
you were there.
Yeah, let's call it that.
I get it. I can connect the dots.
Yeah, let's call it that. It's very different, right? It's different, and it's not that it was wrong. It was great, but it wasn't going to scale. And e.g., we were branching out into international markets, and the branding and everything else about the company wasn't going to work. So we realized that if we wanted to do that and we wanted to make a name for ourselves, we had to reimagine ourselves, not like Jaguar.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. Okay, so we had to reimagine ourselves. Yeah. Is that too soon? Too soon?
No,
too soon?
it's timing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about shit the bed.
Don't know.
They didn't learn from Bud Light. I mean, damn.
That's the current topic right now. But
it's an echo chamber, man. They don't run with the same crowd that be like, oh, that sounds pretty fucking stupid. It's just it's an echo chamber. Everyone be like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
we absolutely should do that.
We should do that. Let's just do it. I don't even know what happened.
But it's an echo chamber of out of touch that outsource it to another out of touch that also then outsource it to an even further out of touch.
You can take the top off. Yeah, right.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
It's running it from afar, not being in tune with the company whatsoever. And not to cut you off where you're going, but that's from the outside looking in. And I'm going to butcher this horribly again.
And then keep going.
But 100%. Thank you. The brand HP Tuners, your look, he needs a refill as well.
He's sitting over there with a dry glass for hours.
Yeah.
The
camera.
The look, the branding, when you see you at trade shows, when you see how all of your people, there's a fine line between being a tuner on Yellow Bullet, right? Or some of the forums in the back of the day that can hack a computer, and then such a corporate entity that nobody knows who to talk to or where you can get or what do you even sell. And, such a modern display with a little, MPVI2 that's sitting there and you're kind of like, what does it even do? There's a fine line between those two to say we are a service, we are a company, we are high end, we're going to make things. There's also a long time, it takes a while to get the customer assurance to know that if HP Tuner says it hasn't been hacked yet, it can't be it can't be got into. Like, if we don't have the tuning for the brand new 2026, LM16 whatever it is thing, then you're like, okay, well, I know they're working on it, because if they say it can't be done, it can't be done. I don't need to search other places, because there's not going to be somebody else that does it before HP Tuners. That's saying something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like the first one to do it. It's not just this. It's in the tuning. I know we're overgeneralizing, but in the tuning world, and then the other solutions that you're bringing out and offering, that's a big fucking thing, man.
Thanks.
It really is, because you can go so software, Norwegian, like, stylistic of like, we're just an entity, that exists, and you have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to be able to get anything. And then you've got like the guy, in his garage that can, like, put some relays together and hack your ECU. To find that middle ground of where it's a thing that I want to be associated with. First of all, just the fact that somebody wants to put your sticker on their car versus just buy the credits and buy the thing to tune that vehicle. People put stickers for the things that, like, make the horsepower, not that allows them to tune it.
It kind of does.
I know it does, but that's from a mentality standpoint. That's a big fucking thing.
I fucking love that, dude. That's amazing, and that's been our goal the whole time.
You guys have nailed it, man.
Well, thank you, especially hearing that from you guys. And again, it's the team. They are like spectacular. They really, really are. We've got a lot of amazing people that work for us, and we also then work in return double as hard to make sure that we make them happy and that they stay. And we were talking about that earlier about your staff and how, you want them to stay, so you want to keep them challenged, and that's the same for us, right? We do exactly the same thing. We will always do the right thing by our staff and the people, and we're trying to attract new talent all the time. And
yeah, you don't want a staff, you want the best staff.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Absolutely. And we've got a very, very low attrition rate, which is testament to the company and the culture. And, and you hear that, like, what's culture, right? You can't sum that up, right? That's very, very difficult to describe without being like cliche.
Sure.
But what it comes down to is we want the best for our staff, and we want the best for the company, and we want them to stay, and we want them to be happy, and we want them to grow, and we want us to grow. It's that simple.
Right.
And we want these, we just want to continue that path with everyone. We don't want our best talent to get upset at us and annoyed and bored and whatever, and we want them to be excited and with the next challenge, and that's what we want to be known for. And you're right, I did a panel at SEMA, and a question came up like, how far away is Global B at the time? And we hadn't released it yet, and I couldn't freaking help myself, but I smiled. I tried so hard to not smile, and the guy's like asked the question, he goes, I saw that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, well, of course we're working on it. Like, why would we not be working on it? We're going to work on everything, and it doesn't matter how complex the encryption gets. We're going to have a go at it as much as we can, and it might take us 2 months, it might take us a week, it might take us a year, but the guys are going to work on it, and that's what we want to deliver back to the customer. We want to enable this industry. We love it, our staff love it, and being able to work with like people like you guys, that's what makes my day.
Without giving without giving away too much information or, stepping on anybody's toes, what is your relationships like behind the scenes with the big three?
Dude, that was exactly what I was thinking. As you're talking, that was exactly the question I was going to ask.
Yeah, so, what stays on the internet lives on the internet forever. The truth is nothing. Zip. Zero. We tried. And a previous GM employee, Dr. Jamie Meyer, to his credit, actually called in calibrators to try and get them to work with the big three, with GM right at the time. And we went, and that was great. Nothing happened. And I don't know why. I legitimately don't. Like, we're a tool provider. We would happily work with any of the big three or any of the manufacturers and say, okay, you've got this new level of encryption. That's fine. Okay, well, what would you like us to do? How could this work? That's going to be okay with you and okay with us.
So it's not there's non-existent, but there's not trade shows where a guy's like, respect. I know you're going to hack it. Like, okay, do your thing.
Just give me the number.
That's another whole. No.
No, not the no. But there's. I know there's.
I saw where that was going.
No, that wasn't my.
Yeah. There's got to be the respect of like, I tried my best. I know you're gonna fucking figure it out, and that's fine. You do you. We're doing us.
So I mean, you guys go to SEMA all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if you back in the day. I say back in the day, that wasn't long ago before GM was there, and it's sad that they're gone, but...
Yeah, fucking 5 years ago.
Yeah, right? So you would walk over to that booth, right? It doesn't matter who you talk to, and you're talking to the Chevrolet Performance staff, right? And you talk to them about what you guys do, what we do. They are absolutely 100% on board.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And we would talk to them, and they would even come to us and say, hey, we're seeing this problem. Hey, do you guys support this? Can you fix this problem? I'm like, yeah, sure we can. No worries. But it's the somewhere further up the
Wouldn't
ladder.
it sell more cars for them though? Because they're going to SEMA with the intent of people customizing that car and showing the platform, and then the performance side, you are opening the door to increase that performance. So you'd think they'd want to support that to help grow the aftermarket following to then sell more new cars.
So it's even beyond that, right? Like it doesn't even matter if it's performance. It could be towing. It could be anything, right? It could be guys that just like Jeep guys want to put wheel and tire on. But it's like, so the answer is yes. You would think that they would know that this would work. So let's just say if you went back and looked at the data, I'm not asking you to do that, but let's say you did and looked at the car sales for the GM vehicles before and after we launched Global B. That's all I'm going to say.
It's impactful.
But apparently the bean counters don't look at that.
But I'm going to take a different approach to that.
Mm-hmm.
What does that get? That's not really going to change things if you decide to work together. So I'm looking at this as some of the beauty and the mystique is that you figured it out without the help.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a little bit of cool guy factor.
It's a little bit of cool guy factor. And then you've got
little rebel.
Come on, the engineers right at that point, they're wearing like cowboy hats.
exactly. So if are those engineers going to be doing the same level if they're just like, here's the code? Who the fuck wants to do that? Right?
But it's not going to be across the board, right? Like
I understand. I understand.
Let's say we came to that agreement with one OE. Come on, how many others are there? Like Bosch MG1 is crazy encrypted. It's very difficult. We just launched.
I don't know. There's something about it. I look at it from both sides. I look at it from your guys' side of like, yeah, this could be so much better for GM. But at the same time, it's like, that's fine. Don't give it to us. We'll get it. We're going to do it eventually. We're going to get in. And then GM's like, you guys are going to get in eventually, so why am I going to make it easy on you? Like, I don't know. There's that game of like.
I don't know if they ever thought that we would. I mean, they outright advertised to the world that was uncrackable, unhackable, everything.
Yeah, and you should not say that unless
they also said the Titanic
it was unsinkable. I was going.
They did say the Titanic was unsinkable.
Yeah, don't hit a glacier and it wouldn't sink.
That was kind of their marketing term at the time, and I understand. I do understand that they want to restrict it because they're trying to protect driver systems and like ADAS and things like that.
I say nowadays it's got to get more and more complicated with everything else that plays off.
Yeah,
of that.
no, I understand, and that we get it, but at that time, this industry, like you guys, exist because of this. We exist because of this. This industry is not small; it's massive. And we want to, and we will continue to supply it. So why wouldn't we just work together? That's my opinion. I don't understand why they don't, even at a minimum, open a dialogue. But I can't force that. So we're going to continue what we're doing. We do it the hard way. We reverse engineer everything from scratch, and that's all there is to it.
Is it
so?
GM the hardest, Ford second, Dodge the second, the third?
It's not even that. It's architecture, like Bosch, CMOS. It's what they're doing. I mean, yes, GM's Global B or VIP, as they call it now, was definitely a full encrypted CAN bus, very complex. But yeah, the guys figured it out, found a way around it, or multiple ways around it. And
how long for the C8 Z06 DTC?
Don't make me smile. Shut up.
That's probably an off podcast conversation.
Yeah, it's on.
But it's way cooler if it's on podcast.
Yeah.
It's cool if we just had one in a car.
Yeah.
Or we just take all the cameras outside and just like start the car.
Yeah.
Just ripping gears.
There's a badass white one over at Grays Lake Chevrolet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grays Lake. What do they call that now?
City Chevrolet. Yeah. You know what else was City Chevrolet?
Yeah.
But you know what? Z06, awesome sauce, but come on, guys.
ZR1.
ZR1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
is it hard calling it a ZR1 instead of a ZR1?
Shut up.
Phil's bringing the fucking heat tonight.
You're not wrong, dude. He just
It's
a
sniper. I mean,
he just drops
you
bombs.
forget about him. He's over there in his ghillie suit, right? And he's up on.
Yeah.
And it's just.
It's like that, like a blow dart in your neck.
Oh, dude. You got a dart in your neck.
Yeah. Thanks, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, the ZR1's going to be fucking amazing. But one,
be
it's going to be
impressive.
another 8 or 9 months before you actually receive one. And then the price point is going to be nuts.
Okay, yeah. So price points.
That's what, 240?
I don't know.
I'm guessing it's going to be 240 to 250.
Epic car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We are hoping that the control module is the same between the Z06 and the
That's what
Would you
twin
need to?
R1.
Yeah.
Would you need to tune that? They're like what, almost 1,100 horsepower.
What do
Phil,
you, I'm sorry.
what the fuck? Where are you at?
I was just
Honestly,
Do I-
what do you think we do for a fucking living?
Tune it.
sorry. I take that back.
Take it.
1100.
Just roll it back. Leave it. Roll it back.
1300.
We'll cut that out.
1300 is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for people to like put massive turbos on that.
That car seemed like when the C8 came out, wasn't that like later to the game for anybody to modify? I feel like it took so long.
The CA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like, I'm like, Jesus, how is nobody fucking with these things yet? It just seemed like it was forever.
They couldn't tune it. So I think a lot of the body guys were doing a lot of wide body kits and things like that. And you know that with what you guys do, that takes a long time, especially if you're going to productionize it. But then all the powertrain stuff, like twin turbo kits, supercharger kits, people were just waiting for tuning support. And yeah, I mean, kudos to GM. They did a good job for
Slapped a carby on top.
12 months.
12 months and then
I don't know. Yeah.
not hacked anymore, not locked out.
I don't know. Like, again, I'm just praising the engineers. It's all them. These are the guys like this selection of bourbon, whiskey, scotch that you've got here. This is how we keep the engineers happy.
That's what does it?
Oh, yeah. Just beyond that, cigars, the whole lot, whatever they need. No, it's just.
It's got to be a heck of a team. And I mean, we look at it
amazing
from
team.
the outside looking in. I mean, we look at it like it's Space Force. It's like it's just the most elite group of talented engineers to be able to do what you guys are doing. I mean, it's so far out of our world.
I see it as like late 70s, early 80s NASA.
Yeah.
To where it's just screens, but nothing but there's still smoke in there. Like there's just ashtrays and cigarettes, and they got their headsets and it's looking at screens.
It's either that.
Picture the Matrix, right? Like code rolling.
Okay, there's three ways of looking at it. It's either the Matrix, just like that, with the code, and they're swiping and throwing stuff everywhere. It could be like you say.
Right.
Or it could be like Data from the Goonies. Remember that? Or,
I thought you should be a Data from Star Trek. I'm like,
no,
what?
remember from the Goonies? It's just like
Just
crazy.
knows it.
little-
Yeah, does it in his head, figures it out. Oh, yeah, if we do this, this, and this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're truly talented individuals. I mean, but like that's the equivalent. You say like you can't get your head around it, but what your guys are doing with the design of custom builds and things like that, that's the same, right? I look at that, and we did a tour before we walked through here, and that's spectacular. Like I'm just a kid in a candy store right now. I'm just like, I want that. I want that. I can't afford that. I definitely can't afford that. And it's just like that to me is candy, right? Whereas these guys, they just come to work and they just absorb this, and it's a challenge. They put it. It's like a feather in their cap when they achieve that. As a massive win, both for them and the company, which is amazing. And they own that. You're right. You're not wrong. Where is that bad? That they would just give it to us. It's not bad because that time we could spend on other things.
Right.
And not every OE will work with us. Well, currently none. So let's just go with that. Let's put that on the record, because you read the forums and like, oh, HP Tuners is doing this. HP Tuners is doing that. I'm like, yeah, no, man. You are so far wrong. But anyway.
Is there an aha moment with the engineers when they're working and they're trying to crack something?
Spec-fucking-tacular.
All of a sudden they get it? Is it like the chair comes out?
The fucking streamers go, alarms goes off.
What's that like?
Yeah, it is. It's a little like that, and then that triggers a whole lot, because it's one of those things. Like, how do you measure like reverse engineering? You can't measure it. You can't plan for it. And
But when you're in, you're in. And now
then it opens up the
shit
doors
has
and
to start
everything else.
happening
So you're in.
across the company.
That's right. So you're like, hey, can you work on this? Right? Whatever the next car is. And it's like, okay, work on that. And then it kind of falls away from, the mind. And we're just like, we report on it. We see how they're going. And then all of a sudden you get that message. It's like, we did it. And we're like, what? We did it. It's good. We're good. We're defining now. I'm like, what? So can you launch it tomorrow?
We need a few days.
Yeah.
Refined spirits.
Hang on. Like, can we at least tell marketing to plan and no, launch tomorrow. We want to be out tomorrow.
So that's engineering wanting to launch that fast?
So do you know what?
They're pushing it like that?
I respect it. I do.
Oh, that's
respect it.
awesome.
Yeah. It's because they're like, we
confident.
did it.
We fucking done it.
We did it.
Don't let anybody else.
Let's get it out.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
That's
And
fucking cool.
They don't want anyone else to beat them.
That's
And
fucking cool.
Every minute that passes that we haven't launched, they are not first.
Because in their minds, everybody started at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're the first ones there.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that we've crossed the finish line. Let everybody know. Send the streamers. Say we've done it.
That's it. You're picturing it.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I'm telling
that's
you.
really
Cowboy
fucking
hats,
cool.
Drinks, everything. You name it. It's done. Light the cigars.
But you're talking about walking around and getting excited about looking at the cars. That's honestly, for 3 years now, we've done this podcast and we've been in this industry for 20 plus years. That's the thing that at the end of the day, businesses, media companies, magazines, TV shows, everybody has tried to quantify. That's what you can't quantify, because you walk around this and you're like, oh, that's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. I'm getting fucking excited about your engineers wanting to be first to market with a thing. When you can't quantify that shit. You can't say we like cars because of this, because you can walk into, an RV restoration company and see how they're doing a new Airstream, and you're like, that's fucking cool. Right? That's fucking, that looks sexy. That's awesome.
There's a physical, tangible.
And that's, you can't say why people like it. You can't say what it is. It's just, it's fucking cool, and it excites you. It blows your skirt up. It cranks your tractor, whatever. You've been down in Auburn. You know all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Cranks your tractor.
That's Alabama talk right there.
Yeah. If it fucking cranks your tractor, it's fucking cool.
Can we just wind this back just a little bit?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Alabama?
Born
At that point in time, I was building hot rods.
You were born and raised there.
No, I was not.
She moved around a little bit, but he's predominantly an Alabamian.
I was in Alabama by the time I was
So I'm going to test you.
18. But I lived in Florida, Dallas, Delaware,
North Florida for sure.
Yeah.
No, Fort Lauderdale.
By the line?
You were. I'd picture you as like one of those swamp people up in like
I'm gonna
like northern, like middle of nowhere Florida, where they're like, people live there.
Wait. No.
Hey. I was born in Clearwater, and then for
Really?
7 years in Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale's beautiful.
It wasn't then. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
We were in the Lauderdale Lakes. Yeah.
So I'm going to test you.
All right.
All right, here we go. Alabama. War Eagle or Roll Tide?
How about look at the
this
hat?
Roll.
Oh.
Did you wear that?
I actually never even looked at your hat, but yeah, there we go.
So this is the first time we've seen you wearing that. Was that just because?
No. Full transparency. I wore the hat today. First time I've ever wore an Alabama hat on the podcast. They're announcing playoffs.
Ooh.
The top 12.
Do you think your hat's going
Tonight.
to make a difference?
No.
Yeah, it is. Because if a fan don't care, who cares? Right? Yeah.
I stopped by your play. What was it? Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Iron Bowl game.
Yeah, it's on every TV in the house. Upstairs, downstairs.
Walks room to room.
Yeah.
If you don't have it on, what's the point?
Did they win that game?
Yeah, they won. Yeah, handedly. Yeah. So you do know.
I know.
You know you've got to make a decision. You don't even have to be
If you're
born
in
there.
Auburn,
If you come into the state at that point, you're forced to make a decision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is. Yeah.
I was wondering what you were talking about just then, but then I realized. Yeah.
I was there for a while. We hired people from out of state all the time, and they're like, "Well, I'm not really into football. That doesn't fucking matter."
No.
I'll tell you what. I'll
customer cars based on.
Yeah, I'll give you tonight. You can make the decision. Come back tomorrow. I hope it's the right one if you're gonna stay employed, and that's just the fucking way it is.
But
It's
you know
life.
what confused people? Didn't matter what I responded. fact that I was responding with an Australian accent blew their frickin' minds.
You just gave them whatever they gave you?
It didn't matter. It didn't matter if they said Roll Tide or War Eagle.
Roll Tide, War Eagle, War Eagle.
It didn't matter, right? Or, yeah, if I really wanted to troll them, they'd say Roll Tide and I'd say War Eagle.
Yeah.
And they would just look at me and like, one, why did you say that? And two, what?
What?
Where was that from? Which is really interesting. But
Especially in Auburn, too, because all it is a fucking farm school, ag school. I mean, they don't even do anything but, like, fuck around with cows and shit. If you were in, like, Alabama, like, if you were in Tuscaloosa, we could see, because we're like, a more sophisticated. So we got people from all over the world.
Auburn is pretty good at running back field goals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So
it's
that's
also
a stereotype.
running hay. Yeah, it's an ag school. It's nothing but an agricultural school.
10
right?
years ago, I think it was 10 years ago,
Pure hate.
there was a
It's a
Hail
worthless
Mary.
school. You know, the diploma doesn't even count.
There was a Hail Mary pass win, right, for the SEC, and I was there for it. It was like 10 years ago, and I don't think it was against Alabama. It was Auburn versus, I think,
It was
Georgia.
Yeah, it was with
Georgia University.
Yeah, Georgia University. Good grief, you're foreign.
Sorry.
University
Oh my
of
God.
Georgia.
Say good grief, you're foreign.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, look, I remember
Nobody is going to come on this podcast. Never.
No, it's cool. No, that was the Cam days.
Right.
Cam Newton.
So I was there for that.
That was a crazy game.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was insane.
The wild game.
No idea what I was watching. I was very drunk.
So you've been
It was
to
amazing.
an Auburn game.
Yeah.
So now, I've tried to explain to them what SEC football in the stadium.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I will.
Center of the world.
In my uneducated opinion, it is like up there, if not higher than NFL.
Oh, it's 100%. It's almost like what you would envision being in the Coliseum.
Yep.
Back in the Roman day. Like it's
Is it? Are they actually like? Is it better quality football than NFL?
it's 100% better quality football.
So I can't tell you that. He can tell you that, but I will say like the fan base, the feeling being there, the teams themselves, the quality, what I'm watching, what I can see. But I've done everything. Watched the game, tailgated, the whole lot, and it was
the NFL is the sifted of the top, right?
Of course.
They are great players. And you see some amazing games and amazing plays.
Yep.
However, once you get to that point, I'm not saying anybody doesn't care about winning or stuff like that, but
don't want to get hurt.
You're professionals, right? They play hard at some games, right? But there's also games that it's a season, right? You're going through the thing and you're working it. On a college level, when you are, especially when you've got so many players that have to do that next thing to get on the radar to bump either one round or two in the draft or something like that or whatever, you just see shit that you don't see in the NFL.
They're doing like flips and shit, like crazy stuff.
It's just different. It's different. They lay their body out on the line. There's catches and runs and blocks and stuff to the level that you generally don't see on a broader spectrum. You see some of that shit in the NFL. You don't see it as many plays as you do in the college.
Dude,
that's just the best way.
I know
you don't
We'll get
care.
off the sports thing. But
I know you
I'm gonna let you know.
You asked me a question.
I watched a sports thing last night on YouTube.
Well, for you
Sports thing.
Yeah,
say what the sports thing is, and don't say if you watch the sports thing.
It's late night.
It's creepy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, late night flipping through Facebook, and something comes up. Like, it's weird how stuff like targets you, right?
Right.
All of a sudden, I get like 2 or 3 Walter Payton posts.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh, this dude, I hear this name all the time. Like, this is a Chicago guy.
You didn't know who Walter Payton is?
Well, I know who he is, but I'm like, they talk. Is he a great? Is he like a Michael Jordan? Is he Michael Jordan level?
yes.
So I
He
look.
is.
I'm like, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna see. I look it up on YouTube. Just YouTube Walter Payton. So highlight thing comes up. That fucking dude does some crazy stuff.
Shit.
I mean, he runs.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
are there people better than him nowadays, or is he like really good?
He's a standard. He's a Michael Jordan standard, right?
Got it. It just as I get.
He had a
more
different
into
style. There's some
stuff,
people that arguably that's like done some things greater, but yes, Walter
but
Payton
he's
still
up there
holds.
as one of the best.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, it was cool.
they give awards named after Walter Payton, so
See, I think
it's
like look.
it's a game fish. It's kind of a
that-
fucking big deal.
that might be why I'm not a sports fan, right? Because like I'm not if I go to a car show, I generally want to look at like the best cars.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in it's going to sound terrible, but I'm not interested in, all the others. I can appreciate them for various reasons, but sports, you watch sports, it's 95% shit, but there's very few Michael Jordans, Walter Paytons.
Just watch Alabama football.
All right. And that's probably why I don't like it. I think that's
You
why I
probably
don't
have to
like
watch older tapes, not this season.
it. It's
We're going to be in the
generally,
playoffs.
It's generally,
I got the hat on.
to me, it's generally pathetic. Like, it's almost embarrassing watching most sports. Like, they just look not good. Almost everybody. Like, compared to, like, a
I don't
Michael
know.
Jordan. Well, except the greats. You see, like, and you can recognize
You're
them.
just talking about basketball?
No, everything.
So there's, if you watch NFL, they don't look like Michael Jordan, is what you're saying.
You know what I mean? His level of greatness.
Yeah, but you didn't watch every
dude's
single
just-
game that Michael Jordan ever played in.
Yes, most of them.
Yeah, we
Even
grew
when he
up in
did bad
Chicago.
stuff, he still did it with style. Like, he still... Like,
You mean he failed well?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. Even I followed Jordan, right? So I play basketball.
Do you get what I'm
as well.
saying?
No, I mean, I get that there's not a Jordan. Watch fucking. I can't stand the Chiefs, but watch Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
I mean, he's
one of-
doing
yeah, but
fucking.
he's one of the great. He's a great.
He 100% is. Yeah.
But like 90% of the rest of them are not very, like, it's just not great looking. You know what I mean?
And no, I don't.
Yeah, you're
No?
fighting a losing
Like,
battle.
Because they're in
turn
the
on-
they're
turn
in
on
the
to
NFL.
Like, go watch
sports, maybe?
go watch, like, if a Bulls game were to come on right now, it's almost like,
But the Bulls suck.
exactly.
Well, don't watch the Bulls then.
But
This
most,
is like a podcast all by itself.
well, no,
right
it is,
now.
but most of the sports are that way. It's like, you guys look.
So you're saying
it's,
So Phil, how are you doing
Stop.
today?
It's like, it's embarrassing. Like, it'd be like building really bad cars and like doing it on TV, or like just trying to bring it looks really bad.
I'd let it go at this point and just move on to the next
Well, I think
topic.
that was I made my point when I said watch the Bulls right now, and you're like, they look like shit.
Yeah, but there's a
like
lot of
they
other
stop
teams and there's a
throwing
lot of other
shit at each other.
sports.
Yeah, but how many teams are there like them? Would you say?
Like the Bulls?
Yeah, right now.
There are probably like seven teams like the Bulls.
And how many pro teams are there?
Well,
in
the
NBA?
season just started in NBA, but
Okay,
there's
how many are there?
I don't know what's there
Like 30.
30 something teams. Yeah.
Okay, so like a quarter, third, seven.
Yeah, but there's good ones
they're-
too.
They're,
bring down the floor.
yeah, they like most of them suck, and they're professionals. I feel like they should. If you're gonna play anything at a professional level, you should all be good. That's why I don't like watching. It should be great. It should be watching. I don't watch bad TV shows. Like, I want to watch. If I want to watch a TV show, everything should be good.
So
Otherwise, I'm not going to waste time.
What if everybody on that both of those teams are just that good?
They're
You would
canceling
know
each
it would be
other out.
phenomenal. It'd be like watching a prize fight, it would be like watching Tyson fight Muhammad Ali. Two great fighters.
I think that would be a shitty fight to watch.
Okay, maybe they don't have the same skill set, but like, two of the greatest fighters of all times that have.
I'm glad that you've pissed off all sports fans.
I would
I
venture
needed
that-
some.
your comments are exploding
Yeah,
right now.
50% of the listeners, most hot rod builders, could give a fuck about sports.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
That's the truth.
So what do you watch, Jeremy?
I started watching Landman and Yellowstone. That's about it.
Yellowstone. All right.
Landman.
They got to they got to wrap
Yeah.
Yellowstone up.
Yeah, it's
All right, it's a
ran
little
its
long.
course.
Well,
in the
we
tooth.
we know
Fucking-
that now. Yeah, they came
But-
back and it's like, but yes, Yellowstone.
Yeah.
All right,
But
but no
Land-
sport, right? No
I watched-
motorsport, nothing.
I mean, I don't know a tremendous amount about it, but I like watching Formula One. Formula
Okay.
One's a phenomenal.
Right answer.
Yeah,
The
unbelievable.
right answer. Especially
motorsport.
McLaren. You should follow that.
I like
Especially
it.
one driver, Oscar. Yeah.
The Australian sports car stuff is wildly entertaining.
V8 Supercars
Yeah,
was
Supercar. Yeah,
awesome.
that's-
This is the thing you got to understand. This is not a shot at Jeremy, even though I wish I could do it.
you guys been shooting.
It's
shots
not.
all
I'm not
night.
being a shot. This is not a bad thing. There's people that are built. Jeremy doesn't want to watch something that he can't do. If he can't do it right or do it, he's not going to watch it. He'd just rather go do the thing. So if he doesn't have any interest in playing basketball, he's not going to watch
yeah, I
other
guess
people
you're
play basketball, right?
Yeah.
So it's just simple as that. He'll watch some motorsports, right? But he's not going to probably go race F1. So he's going to watch it because it's fucking cool. But he's never going to watch the entire season start to finish. He has
Or,
no interest in NASCAR, right? He has. It's just the thing.
Yeah.
It's just
I'll
the way
watch
it
things
is.
that I aspire to be. Like God didn't give me the attributes, the physical skill set, or
To be good looking.
no. I think
Okay, sorry.
You're not going to see me on a fucking basketball court ever, right?
No.
It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah, I have no interest in it. It just doesn't interest me.
Is that why?
And we got there.
Yeah, we're there.
No,
We're
it's
there.
just.
Do you know, I feel like
think,
this is a good segue.
Yeah, we resort
Yeah,
back
this
to
is-
the
Yeah,
reason why I
no,
don't
here's
like
the
it.
segue.
This is why we're so popular,
Oh, yeah.
especially in Australia.
Fantastic.
Because
So this has been sitting here. I just realized we've nearly.
What
finished
is this?
Okay, right. So cliche would have been bringing Tim Tams or
Vegemite, right?
right? So these are Lamingtons.
Lemingtons.
Lamingtons.
Okay.
Okay.
Those like little gophers that run off the cliff.
No, those are
That's
lemmings.
lemmings.
Okay.
Those are lemmings. I knew it. Those are.
All right. So
Homemade?
yeah, they are.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah. So you guys need to try one of these. This is going to be live, obviously.
So what exactly? It looks like
Yeah, before
coconut.
we
Okay.
get into this.
What's that?
What is it before we get
Okay.
into
No,
All right,
just
all right.
fucking
So-
don't. You don't have to tell me.
No. I'll tell you, right? And just in case
I'm getting
you
into
guys
it.
don't have any allergy.
We're getting explosive diarrhea from
Let's
this.
do it. Okay, all right.
I have a mushroom allergy.
No, there's no mushrooms in there. It's like chocolate. I'm
That's
like,
good.
Silence. Yeah. What do you think?
There's a little. Is there coffee?
No. Just chocolate, jam. It's like a cake type.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty cool.
that's a coconut thing on the outside of it.
It's basically a cake base, like jam in the middle, and then a chocolate coating with coconut. And you know who made these? You know exactly who made these.
Who?
Come on.
Adrienne.
Adrienne?
She totally did.
She did a good job.
She did a
They're
very
phenomenal.
good job.
Now I feel more comfortable.
I could have bought them, but homemade is just way
And this
better.
is an Australian.
It is. It's an Australian thing, right? So
I thought they were just
I'm definitely going to
stuffed
have
with
one.
industrial grade X-Lax and just as a get back of all the fucking shots.
Send that down there.
Yeah, notice he wasn't eating
Dude,
one.
what happens? What happens is you get them all done, and then you see the picture at the bottom. At the bottom.
Of the bulldog?
Yeah. What movie was that? Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Ooh. Go,
I haven't heard that reference in a long time.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Not as good as old school, but
All right,
good movie.
So first experience with a Lamington, guys.
Yeah, I love it.
Very first time.
Yeah, they're very good with coffee. I know it's not really an
can
evening
imagine.
thing; it's more of a morning thing.
Would you give that a dip in the coffee, or you just enjoy it?
I don't think I would, because I think it would fall apart. But Tim Tams, you would definitely do that. I'll definitely bring those by at some point. You guys will enjoy those. That's a coffee. That's a morning thing as well. So,
You know what I coincidentally got today?
What's
a little
that?
bit of Australian licorice.
oh, really?
Australian licorice is the best.
Yeah.
Wow,
kookaburra?
wallaby? Oh, kookaburra.
Yeah.
Is that real
I don't know if it's
Australian
real.
or is that
I-
just like
I think
Americanized
that's like
Australian?
Gas station.
I think
version,
it's
Is
like
it?
probably.
Foster's. I have a feeling it's like Foster's beer.
Did you say what?
Yeah, so it's an
is
Americanized.
kookaburra?
Kookaburra?
Yeah.
Yeah, pull it up.
Is that a
Kookaburra.
okay? That's a brand.
Look, if you're going to make fun of me, I'm making
No,
fun of you.
that's fine.
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's not.
Is that a real brand or is it just Americans trying to be like this is Aussie thing?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you said, Foster's is a
But
good way.
is that an actual Australian thing, or is it like Foster's beer, which is it's a marketing gimmick, right? Foster's beer.
So Foster's exists in Australia as the parent company, and they do have beer. But what is your cheapest beer? I'm sorry, Foster's. What is your cheapest beer in the US?
Oh,
Natty Light.
Busch Light, Natty
Okay,
Light.
just go a little lower.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, pretty much. No, the people. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's just they make great beer, but not their branded beer. You wouldn't go into a pub
And
and
order
just
one.
go, "I'll have a Foster's, thanks." That doesn't happen. No,
Now we're learning.
it happens here. You walk into a like,
Bar, not a pub.
yeah, I
It could
wasn't
be a
even going
pub.
to say that. I was like, what do you like? I would say a bottle shop in Australia. What do you do?
a bottle shop, really?
Yeah, that's what
We have bottle shops, but they sell bottles of liquor. Like it's
not a bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean, like a bottle shop. So you
Okay.
alcohol where you just go
Okay.
like what's
liquor store.
local
Yeah.
here,
We
Binnies,
use-
Binnies.
Yeah, we use bottle shop as like a more boutique-y kind of fancy type little
Oh, okay.
place. But yeah, general liquor store.
Or Garfield's Liquor Emporium, Beverage Warehouse,
Beverage Warehouse and Liquor Emporium.
Liquor Emporium.
So I see Foster's here, and they're like in 40s, 40s?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Freaking massive.
Yeah. Take some of those down to Auburn.
Like, one, why do you want to drink it? And two, why do you want to drink that much of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
You're
always-
going to drink 40 of it. Just like,
You do it.
do it.
Doesn't get warm.
How warm? I mean, I don't think I've ever. Well, you drank 40s. We drank 40s. We had
Edward 40 hands in college, where you tape a 40 to each hand.
We
You
were,
couldn't get it off till you finished drinking.
where were we? Were was it? Was it Georgia? Somewhere in Georgia when we all stayed in that motel for a car show, and the only liquor store we crossed some like 2-lane highway, and it was one of those. It had all bars on the windows and everything. And
Is that when we were?
we took the-
when Rob had those little kicker
Yeah.
5150.
And we were pulling
pikes.
it. We were pulling the
office chairs
Yeah, the office
behind them.
chairs. So we're out. This is in our early years. This is
Yeah,
back.
that was at the Atlanta Super Speedway.
okay.
When
Yeah.
So
Good
you
Guys had a show there for a couple of years.
remember
Yeah.
where the kicker 5150?
That's out in the middle of nowhere out
Yeah.
there.
They were like these
Yeah.
mini
Yeah.
bobbers.
Done many shows down there.
Yeah.
One of the dudes had one. So we're towing. We take the rolling office chairs out of the hotel rooms, and then all they had were literally the only liquor store. All they had were 40s. We're drinking.
Yeah.
Like King
I know.
Cobras.
I know where you're at. Yeah.
Okay.
They only had 40s.
Sounds terrible.
And
It's because all they sold was 40s
so here we are
in that area.
behind some little bobber hooked to an office chair with a 40, getting like yanked down the street.
Ripping around the parking lot.
Big time parties back in the day down at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Those were the Nopi Nationals were held every year.
Kill that.
Yeah, we did. But Alabama, Yinling?
Yingling? Yeah.
Yinling.
Yeah.
Is that local?
No.
No, it's
Okay. That was popular
Pennsylvania,
there.
I think.
Okay, that was very popular.
But it's a big bar. I mean, a big college town bar beer. That's when sophomores are going to be like sophomores are going to grow up.
So you're drinking something sophisticated.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, they served it. I drank it.
Oh, it's a good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And moonshine, literal moonshine.
Yeah.
That was
Now you're talking.
dude, it was fantastic.
There's nothing better than that. If you could bottle that legally and sell it, it'd put every other liquor brand out of
Yeah,
business.
without a doubt. Yeah, I will say without a
Put all
doubt.
your taste buds out
What
of
do you think
business too.
What do you think the proof is of like when
Should we get from Paul?
when the good old boys bring it to the car shows and you've got like the apple pie stuff?
130 generally.
Really?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even understand how.
But if it's good, then it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
proof that it doesn't matter.
completely irrelevant.
When
Yeah.
it starts burning is when it ain't good shit.
yeah,
What's the age? How long does it live for? Because I've got quite a few.
It'll live fover.
Well, I
Keep
got
the
quite a
seal.
few mason
Yeah.
jars that just been
It's,
sitting in the
especially if
fridge.
it's 130, 140 proof.
so it's pure
Ain't nothing
alcohol.
getting in it that's living.
I mean, I've had it for years and years.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
when it's good.
very few people are interested in drinking any. Like,
If you take a couple of swigs and your vision starts going dark or whatever, then just stop and that would go to a different bottle.
We went
a different,
to,
a different jar.
Don't eat the peach or the apple that's inside.
Well,
the whole thing.
Or do.
we went. To,
It's
one of my wife's friends had a moonshine party. Well, the moonshine. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, moonshine party. I've had shit ton of moonshine in the fridge. This would be great.
they brought store brought.
We could get rid of it. So you go there and everybody's wearing like like Toby Keith cowboy hats and stuff, like your little gimmicky cowboy hats. And they bought the
Old Smoky?
Old Smoky moonshine. So I brought like 3 or 4 actual mason jars.
Yeah.
Of
Unlabeled.
moonshine.
Clear.
Like I thought that's what we're doing.
Peach, apple pie.
I think like 1 or 2 people took a sip of it and were just absolutely appalled
Yeah.
by it.
I'll tell you what though, you've seen bad drunks on beer, vodka, whiskey, stuff like that. Get somebody fucked up on moonshine, and that's a different drunk.
Is
it really?
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
that's
think
a
I've ever-
completely
I-
different drunk.
I've never drank it just
tequila.
independently. Like that's
Yes,
It's like tequila.
yeah.
It's a different.
yeah.
I've never
I
had
don't know why.
You'll
I've
turn
never-
a normal guy fucked up
Yeah.
with some fucking good moonshine.
I've never had a night where it's like, you know what? I think tonight I'm just drinking moonshine. I'll probably just drink
No, it's
moonshine
been-
tonight.
it's-
so it's always follows up like some beers or something, but I've never
Yeah.
just.
There's been Talladega. Talladega was generally always happened. So Talladega in the infield, and that jar starts getting passed around, and the shit tastes so damn good, and you're only taking a sip, and it keep passing around. Well, after 3 or 4 hours, a sip,
It's like a shot every day.
you're killing a fucking jar, and then man, you get
Catches up to you.
yeah. But the good part is everybody in the entire infield is the same way.
Yeah.
So there ain't nobody there sober to tell you that you're acting any different. So you're all acting the same.
The only thing I'll say that I've noticed, I mean,
Then you start dancing in the Jello.
No, in all my years in being in this industry, I feel like we've drank a fair amount of moonshine. It seems to produce a substantial headache the next day.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. It can.
Strange thing is, I don't remember.
But I
You don't remember what caused the headache?
It's usually mixed with several other things.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the mixture. Again, because I've never drank I never went out and just decided that's what I'm drinking tonight.
no, nobody goes out and be like, hey, you want to go out tonight and drink moonshine? It's generally not a thing.
Not up here, anyways.
No. We're gonna keep rolling into HP Tuner stuff. I'm gonna have to take a potty break.
Okay.
I apologize.
Potty break.
Yeah.
Deal.
Taking a potty break. That's really, really good.
We gotta step it up.
That's
That's what I was saying. It's like dangerously smooth.
it is shocking
Yeah.
to me. I mean, the proof's got to be light on it. No, because we finished a bottle, and I feel like I'm doing a lot better than
It's sub 100.
than what I have when we finished some bourbon bottles.
Gotta be sub
92
1
proof.
92.
Strong.
Yeah, this is really good. I've never investigated any Irish whiskeys. I always just associate Irish whiskeys with what is it, Josh?
Jameson.
Jameson.
I like to taste my licks.
So we
Jameson,
Since
you're
this
just
is-
mixing it with Coke.
since this is such an appropriate podcast, since we're so professional, we could share this story.
how we roll.
You ever hear about this one?
Yeah.
Me and Josh are sitting. When you're in the hot rod industry, you travel a lot, and sometimes you find yourself at a gentleman's club, right? Maybe periodically.
Sometimes you find yourself there in the middle of the day.
Right. It's
Daylight.
when they maybe just open, and that's an interesting. The staff is nowhere near as interesting as the patrons. So we're sitting there.
Yeah, because
and,
we're one's the judge.
Well, to be honest with you,
we're there too.
We didn't have anything to do, and we're sitting there. We're honestly like talking business. We're just
Yeah,
the two of
we
us
sit
talking.
at the bar, sitting at the bar, getting a drink. Yeah,
So we just
middle of the day.
we just happen to over here.
Oh, sorry. Now I understand. In the middle of the day.
Yeah, in the middle
Yeah,
of it.
Okay,
like
right. Yeah, okay.
like 1 o'clock
the
in the
picture.
afternoon.
I see it.
So we just happen to overhear. There's a guy who's he's at the bar, and it's always like the bartender or the cocktail waitress that the guy's the most interested in, right? They like intentionally do that for some reason.
Yeah, try to make a
So
scene conversation.
This guy, he's playing it really cool, super cool. And the bartender's asking him something about I don't know, asking about what he wants to drink, and he's like, hey, I don't know, man, I might do a beer or something. Or you know what? I'll tell you what, I'll do a shot of that. Why don't you give me that Jameson back there? And she's like, well, you want a shot or like a drink? You want me to mix it with anything? No, just give it to me as a shot. Just neat. You know what? I like to taste my whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we're like, it's one of those stupid things.
It
that
kept on.
It just stuck with us forever.
We
And
said it probably 200 times the rest of that weekend.
So it comes
I like
up.
to taste my whiskey.
It
Give me
comes
some of
up,
that
like,
JMO.
basically every time we order.
No
bourbon.
ice. Neat. I like to taste my whiskey.
Awesome story. But
Jameson.
at any rate, this was fucking super impressive, man.
Red breast single pot still Irish whiskey, 21 years.
Yeah, blown away. Really good.
I'd be hard pressed, which doesn't say much about my bourbon knowledge or skills, but I'd be hard pressed to drink that and not think it was a bourbon, like a really good bourbon.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy smooth. But
Yeah.
man,
I'm happy, guys. I'm glad you liked it.
I'm gonna seek that out and definitely
Yeah.
plant that in the collection.
I mean, essentially, it is just a whiskey. It's just from Ireland.
Yeah.
There's no difference in
That's it.
how they're
Scotch.
how they're making it. Yeah.
That's it.
What do you want to get into next?
Did you get some of that Hogsworth?
I did. Where did I put the bottle?
Right behind you.
It disappeared. I saw it out.
This is a great pickup, and I don't know if it's going to be any good. So,
Oh, yeah.
You're
Talking about it this
You're not
morning.
really selling it.
Well, this in itself, it's a pretty special bottle from what I understand. I didn't know anything about it, and Phil filled me in.
I just regurgitated what Josh told me this morning. And I took credit for it.
yeah, so I don't know his first name, but the guy's last name is Bacta, right? So you'll have a brand. We actually have
Bill,
some.
I think it's Bill Bacta.
I don't think it's
It's
Bill.
right over there next.
Right.
Oh.
So,
Phil's shoulder,
yeah, Mr.
nice.
Bacta, right? So that's his brand. He's got that whiskey out as well.
Right.
Now,
Awesome looking bottles.
Great.
That's very like.
That's a great
Art
bourbon
Deco.
too.
right. So this guy founded
Mid-century modern.
this guy founded the brand Whistle Pig. Right?
Oh,
Kind of a big deal.
okay.
The Whistle Pig brand that we all know and love, and that's essentially a liquor license for most people. So when you go into a liquor store, if it's reputable, they're gonna have a Boss Hog sitting up there in the museum up top, right, for $500, right?
Otherwise, you're not allowed to distribute
Right.
Whistle Pig's products,
Right.
from what we understand.
Or have made
Raj Peter Bhakta.
That's a name.
Yeah. So Raj Peter Bhakta started
Product of France.
that is.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So he started Whistle Pig. He sold Whistle Pig several years back. So he started Bhakta, which is sourced bourbons, and he does a lot of mixes with Armagnacs, right? He's getting big time into old ass Armagnacs,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
So just recently, within the last probably 6 or 7 months, he's launched this new brand. Now, again, coming from the guy that started Whistle Pig and sold it, now he's got one that's called Hogsworth.
Not seeing the connection. Can you explain that?
Right. So he's basically, the marketing is, if you're going to spend that much money, you need to get your hog's worth of money for your whiskey.
Oh,
right?
there it is. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I had to lay it out
And
for you.
it's a Boss Hog.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of play on that?
It's
got a little Boss Hog.
There's a little Boss Hog to the thing. So I've been.
Smokey and the Bandit.
I can't believe you found a bottle of it. They're big in the Chicago area. It's very, very new. This shit is just now launching. So this one's aged an average of 9.4 years. I created Whistle Pig whiskey, sold it. This is on the back of the bottle.
I read it. Yeah.
Sold it and severed all tires, but I remain fond of pigs. My work felt incomplete, and American whiskey needs a shakeup, so I present Hogsworth. It is the finest bottle you'll find at even 10 times the price. Taste and see.
Oh, let's do it.
Bold statement.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I like his honesty.
Yeah.
It's very
I like it.
very direct.
It's fond of pigs like bacon wise, or
I don't know.
That's a strange thing
Yeah,
to
just-
associate with
yeah.
bourbon.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't see the correlation, but
Me either. Yeah. Yeah.
Hogsworth marries America's best bourbons with exquisite Armagnacs from France, some over 40 years old.
Which would explain that.
yep.
Yep.
Older, richer, more complex. This is what it means to get your Hogsworth. Now go get yours. Oink, oink.
Nice.
This one's a 2019 bourbon for 4 years, 10%. 2019 bourbon, 4.5 years, 42%.
Oh.
2012 Armagnac of 21% at 13 years.
Jeez.
2010 Armagnac of 22% at 11 years. And a 1982 Armagnac at 5% of 41 years.
That's cool.
41 years.
So
Can we just order?
shit.
Can we just order that 41-year-old Armagnac and just try that? Like, let's just go there.
Is Armagnac like a liqueur? I'm not really.
No. It's
it's a French.
How would you
whiskey.
describe it? Yeah, whiskey.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
Yeah, like cognac.
Okay.
Type.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's-
think cognac's probably the best word to
Got it.
describe it. Yeah, it's like the older the better, obviously.
Okay.
And yeah, but Armagnac is great.
Throw your.
Yeah, do it. Everyone's like, okay, polish off their drink. Let's top us up.
Quick chug.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Josh.
We had a little bit of a treat along the way. Keep us going.
Yeah, a little pick me up.
Yep, that's it.
Cool bottle.
Very
Now I only can think of Lemmings. It's
Lamingtons.
Lemingtons.
Lamingtons.
Lamingtons.
Pairs well with a Lemington.
Lamb.
Lamb. Lamb. Like a little lamb.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Lemmings are those little poor critters that just fall off the edge. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's the best I can go with. All right, let's try this.
It's pretty damn good.
That's smooth.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
wow.
You definitely pick up that cognac Armagnac.
Yeah.
Like,
That's quite a banger, and for sure.
No, yeah, that's fantastic.
how much was that bottle?
It wasn't expensive. I want to say like 50, 60 bucks.
Really?
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Shit.
Yeah.
There's only 2 left. So you were talking about it this morning. I went
Yeah.
during lunch. I'm like, oh shit, they've got one. Just had to grab it.
All right.
That's
Nice.
phenomenal.
Good find. That's very good.
Wow. That's interesting.
And it's a bourbon?
It would be considered a whiskey.
Okay, whiskey and Armagnac. Yeah. Okay. That's great.
I would have never grabbed, if I didn't know the story, I'd have never grabbed that off the shelf.
Yeah. That's really great. Good find.
The aged 9.4 years would have caught my eye.
Yeah.
Especially at that price
If
point.
you've got an age, if anything, that's the rule. We talk about it all the time. If it's got an actual age statement on it, and you're you're saying how old it is, that's something. Yeah. Because that's rare in bourbon today. And generally it's a $10 per year is kind of the thing, right? If you're asking $200 for a 4-year, like something's fucking up, right?
It's marketing.
You're paying
100%.
A really cool bottle.
You're paying for the brand.
Yeah,
right?
but I'll always spend $100 for a 10-year, and at least give it a shot.
That Bacta's not a cheap bottle though. That's up there around 100, 120 bucks, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's 20. That's 2013.
Shit, I'm not
shit
there.
there. Yeah,
that other bottle was then.
They've got a 1980 something bottle, or whatever. I haven't tried it yet, but I've got it. The Armagnac, I will say, that's
great.
It's a little different flavor profile.
Yeah, that's really, really fucking good.
It's good. Good.
So find some Hogsworth. For some reason, I got a personalized Christmas card from Peter Bacta.
Yeah, it's all weird timing. All this kind of worked out.
Just came in yesterday. Yeah.
Of
him and his family. Yeah.
Why is there not a bottle with the Christmas card?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
very good question.
Yeah. It should be a bottle. Yeah.
It should be a bottle.
I don't know why Raj Peter didn't send it.
But he makes a great product, and I'm impressed with that.
Hogsworth, good. Okay, so HP Tuners. You make the move. You're like, fuck it, I'm coming to Chicago. And he's like, well, it's not actually Chicago. It's Buffalo Grove, right?
It's better than Chicago.
It's better than Chicago. So you get yourself, y'all are rocking and rolling. You made it very clear. We've talked about the branding. We've talked about how there was a shift, right? And you've done such a phenomenal job. You've got your business model, right? You're selling credits to tuners, right? You've got your interface, right?
Yep.
Then it's kind of like, you know what? We need to do something else. So where's the core ECU kind of come into play? When's that first start getting talked about? Take us through that.
All right, so you'll hear it first.
Okay.
So, core was literally an engineer's dream. He wanted to embark on creating his own control module. And he pitched it. Again, this is the benefit of like you guys like running the business, and Keith and Chris running the business pitched it, and they said, all right, yeah, if you want to have a go at this, show us what you can do. And he did, and he kicked it off, and they were impressed, and one person grew into an entire department. That is the long and the short version of it. There were many iterations of the product, and it took many, many years. Like, it's not a 12-month program,
of course,
right? I mean, and for those that don't know, it's creating a control module from scratch, and that literally means the board, the components, the firmware, the software that interfaces with it, everything was done in-house. Absolutely everything. And that team has grown quite large, and they are an amazing group of guys. They are really, really good. And the guy leading that team now is from Cosworth, and he's amazing.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Ever heard of Cosworth?
You throw around words like,
What is
They did a Vega.
What is this
didn't they?
that you
Yeah.
speak of?
I throw it out there, right? Like, it's like, and you meet this guy, and he's just so cool. And the team is just so amazing. We had 2 engineers at SEMA from that program, and they were just, they love what they do, but they're not necessarily car guys. They just love what they're doing, and they love being able to deliver a product. It's like what you said, the streamer's going off. I've delivered a product and it kicks ass, and that's what they want to do. And I guess it's no different to your guys downstairs delivering a product or finishing a car or a platform or whatever it is and going, that is going to win an award. What I've just delivered, that's going to win an award. And for the engineers, that is the same for them. They want to deliver this product where it blows the world away. They either do something so amazingly new or or challenging the way of thinking. And for us, it was the next logical step. Really, we've owned the space of factory control modules. Then for us to go and create our own, and I won't say who, when we launched it at SEMA or announced it at SEMA, we had multiple competition come up to us, and I'm standing there watching the team reveal this product, and they come up to us and they're like, "Hi, this is such and such. I just wanted to talk to you about why did you guys get into this? Like, isn't this a mature market?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is, but it's the next logical step for us. Sure, there's a lot of competition in the market, but if you know our product, if you're already using VCM Suite and HP Tuners and an NPI, it's a logical step to go, you know what? I don't want to use VCM Suite. I don't want to use the factory control module. I want to run twin turbos with nitrous and two-step and traction control, but I also don't want to spend $20,000 on a Motec." Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. What else is there out there? Oh shit! HP Tuners has done their own control module.
What's funny is you saying that there was questions from competition, right? I don't like using the word competition, right? Other players in the space.
That's it,
right?
I agree.
Other players in the space, and
we'll call them competimates.
That's great. That's a great way to, yeah.
Well,
but from the consumer, that's a completely different thing. From the consumer side, it made perfect sense. There was no explanation needed. It was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's funny how you're saying that, like what you heard on the backside of like people saying like, well, why are you getting into this, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's coming from, a little bit of fear, right? It's coming from a little bit of like, this is our space, right? But from the consumer side, like you said, there's so many guys out there that are already comfortable, familiar, whatever it is with that interface on, say, it's just, we're going to do an LS3 swap and we're going to do this, we're going to use HP Tuners, right? And then there's if the guy wants to do twin turbo, blah, 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 we're going to do this, but it's two completely different user interfaces. Yeah. From the consumer side, they were like, oh, fuck, about time. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, they say that, right? But then they don't understand the development time.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I'm from the...
I love that, right? And for us, that was very logical. And yeah, you're right. We wanted to be able to cater to, I guess, that market where the guy that walks up to you guys and says, oh, I've got my 69 Corvette, Camaro, whatever it is, and I want to run twin turbo, nitrous, two-step, launch control. I want to do all this stuff with it. And... yeah, they want to spend their money on the car. They don't want to spend millions of dollars on the control systems. And so for us, it was logical to be able to offer that and offer all of those features and functionality at an affordable price. Like we're not racing to the bottom either at the same time. We're not trying to compete with the bottom of the range.
I don't think it's a price thing.
No, and we don't, and that's not our market. We want to be able to deliver the best product to the customer, and doing that, we don't think we've never done that. We don't also we try not to compete with we say competitors, but we don't. We really focus on what are we doing, how can we do that the best, and is that what the customer is willing to pay to achieve or receive, like purchase that product that's going to tick all of those boxes. Right. And so for us to be able to deliver a standalone control system that's going to be able to deliver all of those features and functionality for a competitive price, not a bottom of the barrel price, that's what we're aiming for.
I know we're recording, and this is going to go out to, just a couple hundred people, and
it's too late now.
The price is great. I think it's awesome that you think about it that way. But at the same time, the price doesn't matter. You could charge what you're charging now. You could charge double what you're charging now. You can charge what some of your competitor mates charge for what your capabilities are. That doesn't matter. If you have staff in place to support it and answer the phone when somebody calls and walk through somebody, that's what you're selling.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Customer experience. That's
the fucking difference.
Yeah.
You could charge $100 for that box and never answer the phone, or you could charge $20,000 for that box and answer the phone 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
That's the difference in some of the other players in the space.
So it's funny you say that. And being at SEMA again gives me the opportunity to stand in the booth and talk to dealer networks, distribution, everyone, like you guys, manufacturers, everything. And it's great for me to stand there and hear customers come up and say, why do you do this? Or can I do this? Or I had this great experience. And for us, having an enormous support team, right? And I do mean it's a large team. And all they do is answer tickets. They're answering either phone calls or the live chat. And we've now got an AI bot that tries to answer your question for you and things like that. Well, you have to, right? Like, because simple stuff.
It's probably 90% good.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Because let's face it, all these hot rod builders that are doing this shit, like, we're not exactly the smartest fucking bunch, right? And it's generally a ground, right? So you start with the ground thing, right?
Yeah,
that's the AI bot. It's just check your ground.
Check your ground. You know what though? But what you guys do, like I keep saying it. I go out there and I walk through there, and even today, I know I've been here 3 times now in the recent few weeks. I don't care. I still want to walk through and see the cars that you guys are working on, because to me that's freaking awesome. That is like cool as shit. But I still love what I do, but being able to see what you guys are doing day in, day out, and what these customers are sending to you, and what you're building, and what has made your brand, right? And what people respect you for, because you, as you said earlier, like you'll create a new platform, you'll send it to a show or multiple shows, you'll develop it, and people see it and go, oh, you make a chassis for that now? Oh my God, I didn't know I could do that. And that's what makes it, right? You're making life easy for every other workshop around the world that wants to build I'm sorry, what was that Volvo that sounds like? Are you even allowed to say? I don't know.
Yeah, the P18. It's a P1800, right?
Yeah, I actually like those, because I was shocked to see that show up. That I'm surprised.
I was more shocked that Andrew didn't sell that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's the first one.
That's from
rolled in. And
Tin Man.
Saw that straight away.
No shit.
Yeah.
And that's different, right?
Yeah.
Like that's different.
Yeah.
And a customer is like,
yeah,
you know what? I have a P18, and there's a few shops doing resto mod stuff on that, and they're like, you know what? I've got a P18. I'm going to send it to Rose's shop, and you guys are going to build it. Oh, that for me.
That'll be one to follow.
We're going to get right back in. This is a horrible derailment, but
this is
you fucking Aussies.
Oh shit!
You literally you abbreviate things for no reason.
Like what?
Well, I just said it's
gun world.
I just said it's a P1800. You said P18 earlier. You said that you're going to be in Aussie till the end of Jan, right? So you don't have to January isn't that big of a deal.
At the end of the day, everything. I'm going to side with you. I'm siding with you.
You abbreviate
everything.
Everything they do is better. Like, to be honest, like why would you pronounce the zeros? Why do you have to talk about the zeros? Why?
Because it's in it.
If everybody knows,
Zeds.
Well, if everybody knows what
Phil,
Jan is, tell me, how many emails do you send?
You didn't know what a carby was.
Well, yeah, that I did.
Now I do. You do now.
They even shortened fucking carburetor to carby.
He added a Y.
In his defense,
it's a carby.
Nobody can spell carburetor. Try to spell that.
But no, what I'm saying,
no.
What I'm saying is that how many emails do you send when if hey, you want to come out to the shop January 6th? What do you type? Do you spell January? Do you Jan?
I do. I don't like it, but it's a proper thing to do.
You type.
Or is the computer
fucking abbreviate it?
If I'm doing 2 days, if I'm doing Thursday and Wednesday, I'll spell out both of them. But I don't do wed and Thurs.
That's only because Thurs you're trying to decide if it's THUR or THURS. That's why you spell the whole
day at the end.
That's why you throw the whole. Fuck it, I don't know.
True.
We'll throw the whole name. But
I mean,
to his point, I'm siding with him, dude. Everything they do is a little bit better. I've said it time and time again, and I'm standing behind it.
Thanks, man.
I'm a fan.
We do abbreviate everything.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like we don't fill up at the gas station. We fill up at the servo, which is short for service station.
I could get down with it.
Servo.
Please don't. I hope you don't. I'm going to pop over to the servo. You need something?
Well,
I'm going to run out of petrol before hitting the servo.
The tough one, the one I was struggling with was Jetty.
Oh, yeah.
The Jetty.
Yeah.
Because it's a dock.
It is.
It's a fucking dock.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's
So that's where you draw the line.
because it's equal. It's the same amount. It's
But we've got
dock,
different words for
one
everything.
syllable.
Like you guys call it a trash can, we call it a bin.
okay.
Yeah, and bin's shorter.
Yeah, tomato.
When you
tomato.
go to the place to purchase
Yeah.
your food at the grocery store,
Right.
and you push around the thing, what is that called?
the cat.
Hang on. What?
The thing that you push around.
Did you
That's
say
Boston.
cat?
So
Cat.
yeah, well, you're not. You don't really.
Like you driving a cat around?
Yeah, so you just said it.
What do you call it?
A trolley
Trolley.
A trolley.
or a cart?
Cat.
Oh, it's a
Cart.
buggy. Yeah,
Cart.
it's a buggy.
Hang on. What?
It's a shopping buggy.
It's a shopping cart.
It's a shopping buggy.
Do you, we
You
call
throw
it
it in the
trolley.
buggy.
We call
A
it-
trolley. What do you ride then down to the city?
What?
If you go to
drive.
if you go to San Francisco and you
Right.
get on the little, that's a trolley.
That's called a tram.
It's a trolley though.
No, it's a tram. That's a tram. It may be pulled by a cable, but that is a tram.
This is upside down world.
Yeah, it totally is. And do you know what? Melbourne is full of trams, but they're not cable; they're electric. So
that's the difference.
I don't know.
You just call 'em a
great
trolley.
to get around. So I brought a bunch of HP Tuners guys over to Melbourne for one of our large automotive events in Melbourne, and I warned them. Said, number one, it's going to be really easy to get around, and we're not getting in a car. And they were like, what? Number two, the food and the coffee is going to blow your mind. I'm just warning you now. And they're like, yeah, whatever, Andrew. Testament of that is these 6 people came. They come over. We're on day 2, and we're walking through the city, downtown, and I just were like, hey, let's grab some lunch. So I'm like, let's just go here. I just randomly picked a place. It looked good. We walked in, sat down, ordered, and it was Mexican food of all places, right, in Australia, right? And it was good. And one of the guys, one of the marketing guys, just throws his knife and fork down, and he just goes, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? What's wrong? And he goes, I've been here 2 days now. Why haven't I had a bad meal? I'm like, what do you mean? Why would you have had a bad meal? And he goes, at least I would have had a bad meal in at least 3 or 4 meals. I would have had a bad meal by now. I would have had bad food. I'm like, no, because bad food doesn't survive. There's actually a lot of, not mum and pop stores, but then they're less chains, and if you don't serve good food and good coffee, they will.
Live.
No, it doesn't live. It won't survive. Absolutely. So you can literally walk around the city and you're like, hey, I feel like an espresso. I don't know if you guys have that here, but yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So you had an espresso. I want a cappuccino, whatever it is. I want it, and you'll just walk in and you'll get it, and it will be good, because if it's not good, that place will not survive. It doesn't.
Savages.
Yeah, savage.
Kind of like in Australia.
Dude,
Survival of the
as
fittest.
as I'm listening to the accent, you were busting my balls about, is that Boston? There's a fucking correlation here. When you say
Boston?
no, yeah, when you said marketing, right? Marketing.
That was actually pretty good.
Right. Now
Marketing.
all you
But
do
that's
is
Boston.
you hang a little bit more on the A, marketing,
Marketing.
right? Marketing.
Oh my God, this
Marketing.
is good.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's a sniper.
Yeah.
That's the imitation specialist.
Dude,
I
there's
love
a
it.
fucking correlation.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, marketing.
There's
Yeah.
mar-
Do you have anything that's
But how
wicked
would you
awesome?
say Nissan?
Nissan.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, Nissan. Oh, I love that. Hang on. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, mate.
Oh
But
yeah, man.
what
What
happens?
do we do? What do we do here that's different then?
Well,
Nissan.
in Australia, like, because that's what they say, and everything that they do. It's
I am
always,
loving this.
Yeah, dude,
Dude, you have this on point. Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's how many SEMA conversations have always been because in Australia?
It's always
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, dude, I know you guys do
Epic
awesome
burnout.
shit there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in Australia,
Yeah.
You guys need to come.
we're doing
we're
it.
going.
It's locked in.
Yeah, you need to do it.
So on the core ECU,
Okay.
I assume you're having the ECUs themselves manufactured, right? You doing the harnesses there? You having those done?
So we do I guess the big thing that most people don't know, we try and do everything in-house as much as possible. We have a rapid prototyping machine that can actually I guess it's called a pick and place, and it'll allow us to actually populate boards, which will allow us to make prototypes and things like that. We don't do production, but everything else is done in-house as much as possible. So there'll be multiple external partners that will actually produce the board and also put the components on the board, but then we'll do everything else.
Y'all are shipping now on the ECUs.
LS only, yes.
LS.
Yes.
That started, what, a month ago, something like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And we're expanding that out into other makes and models right now. And there's a couple of engineers around the world right now developing certain engines, and one in Australia, Barra.
That's a cool motor.
Yeah, Barra's a cool motor, right? So there may or may not be a Barra motor somewhere that's running on core right now, which is super exciting. And I'm sure a lot of Ford guys will be like, yes, I can do this and I can go crazy, which is great. We just feel like that's the right next step for that market.
Sure.
But yeah, absolutely. In Australia and here in the US, obviously we want to tick all those boxes. It's really just the software guys.
Y'all working on trans control as well now?
So it already does trans right now.
460 and 4L80, right?
Yeah,
right.
I think might be yes for sure, but there might be two more, but there's more coming. It has the ability to run many more transmissions. It's just about programming it, and that's the next problem. You create the control module, but then you've got to go and get the software guys to create all those strategies to control those transmissions. So
they got job security. You got enough for them to do.
Yeah, they've got enough to do for the next 100 years, but yeah, right. Like,
did you create like a locked out software that then the engineers had to then crack?
Well, for that team, no, they've got enough to do. That hardware team, awesome group of guys, but no, they love the fact that their product is out there in the market and they can go and talk to the real customer. Like getting a couple of them out at SEMA was a real eye-opening experience for them. Being able to talk to customers and explain to them how the product works, what's happening, what's in the pipeline as well. It's like, and getting feedback. Hey, I've used this control module. I don't like it. This does this bad. Can you do this? And they hear it directly. We tell them. We love engineers, but sometimes they don't listen. Sorry, guys. But they want to hear it from the customer. They really do. Like, seriously, they just want to hear it from the customer. And when they do, they go back and tell everyone else, like, actually, you know what? I was at SEMA and I was told that I need this feature and I need to do this. And they go, just take it on as a personal challenge. And they smash it. They just come out and it was amazing. So you guys may have seen, like, we did an EV controller at SEMA.
Yep.
Which I know, like, we've spoken about before, and it's a niche sector. And people, again, asked us, why would you do that? It's like, well, this control module could do it. So why not adapt it to that as well? And sure, it's a small market, but let's at least enable that market, that group of people that want to buy this electric motor, those batteries, this control module, couple it together, go, well, what system am I going to use to run all this? And that's what we wanted to do.
Well, that's perfect. The perfect segue what I was about to say next was, I know, like, we've already sang the praises of HP Tuners a lot tonight, and we mean every bit of it. But again, to another thing to the testament of the entire staff at HP Tuners is, I wanted to ask you about your breakdown of what portion of HP Tuners is OE, new car modifications, and what is, shops like us that are using HP Tuners to tune GM stuff, and now the core thing. But the point of all that, what I was going to get to, is for a company your size and forward thinking as you are, you never pigeonholed yourself into saying, we're just going to be the guys to allow the tuners to tune the newest and latest, greatest car, and we're just going to keep going to the next thing and continue to support stuff. You say, you work with shops like us and hundreds of shops across the country of, hey, you're tuning this 69 Camaro with this crazy whatever one-off new motor that you're putting in there. We can support you and tune that ECU for this. Not only did you allow that and you supported it, then you're like, you know what? There's guys all over the place building all kinds of crazy stuff. Let's do this core ECU. Let's do this harness. Like you just said, now we're going to do because you can. That's why you did that. It doesn't mean that one's greater than the other. You're looking at completely a diversification of your capabilities and stuff. And that's something that you don't see a lot, especially on the technology side in this industry, let alone any other company. They generally find a lane that they're successful in, and they put blinders on and don't even look at whatever else is possible. And sometimes it's because of necessity, because you can't keep up. But other times it's just because it's like, well, I'm comfortable here. Let's just stay here. Let's not try to venture out. You guys don't give a shit.
Nope.
That's fucking awesome.
Get bored easily.
No, it's not even that. It's just geez, how do I explain it? We want to just continue to challenge the engineers, and again, it's multifactorial. Like the owners enable everyone in the team, the entire leadership team. They want them to be able to challenge themselves. They want to be able to do new things, and they want them to be able to walk into their office and say, you know what, I've got an idea for a new product. I think we should do this. And that doesn't matter if it's a new platform for us to reverse engineer. That doesn't mean if it's standalone. It doesn't mean if it's a new trinket or accessory that's going to enable something to happen. It's that's what we want to enable within the team and the staff, and that delivers a better product to the community. And for us to be able to deliver a standalone ECU this late in the market, right? Let's not kid ourselves. It's a very mature marketplace. There's a lot of really great competitor mates. I won't say competition. There are some great ones. There are some poor ones, but
but technology's not stopping.
No, it's not.
So just because somebody's been making a TV forever, does it mean somebody else can't make a TV?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like competition escalates you, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
It elevates you. It makes you challenge yourself. It makes
Keeps
you
you
go
hungry.
yeah, it does. Right. Like really, if you guys didn't,
If there was only Chevrolet and no Ford, Dodge, or any other manufacturer, what would we be driving?
yeah,
I think it's more it's innovation in my opinion.
Thank you.
right?
Yeah, pick an industry, right? It doesn't matter if you want to pick the IT industry, you want to pick the television industry, the hi-fi industry. If there's no competition, it doesn't drive innovation, right? And they become complacent, and then it also gets monetized. And that reminds me of a conversation I had at SEMA, and this sounds very strange. So a couple of years ago, when we launched Global B, one of the marketing companies came up to me and asked me, Andrew, fantastic, you guys just launched Global B, and we did that. We announced that at SEMA. And he said, are you really excited? Are you excited to have the monopoly? And I responded immediately without even thinking about it. I said, no. And he's like, what? What do you mean, no? Why would you not be excited to have the monopoly? I said, think about it. We've had to spend 1 or 2 years developing this product. We've had to spend all of this money and time developing with our engineering team, which then means that, fine, we're the only ones, but then I need to, as a business leadership team member, recoup that cost. I can't then give you the calibration or the ability to calibrate that car for a price that you're normally used to, because I have to recoup the cost of X amount of engineers. And to me, that's not great, because then what happens to the industry is people making camshafts, air intakes, exhausts, you guys, you want to go and tune a Global B vehicle, it costs you more, because I've had to spend 2 years developing it. I would rather be able to develop it either A, in a small time frame, or B, be able to work with the OEs and be able to bring it down to a cost where the consumer can more easily afford it, which then expands your customer base, right? So my reverse answer back to them was like, no, I don't think it's great. I think, sure, we got there. People will follow in our footsteps, but it's costing the consumer more. It's costing the industry more, because all of these other industry players, you name them, people making air intakes, camshafts, turbochargers, superchargers, exhausts, it's costing them more to do what they would normally be doing for a quarter of the price. So for me, it's just, it doesn't seem right for the industry for me.
It's interesting you talking about like competimates and consumer sentiment and thought on why, you know, you keep talking about, you know, why would we get into this space? It's a mature space, you know, and taking what, you know, some competimates have said, you know, from the consumer side of things, I look at it, you know, like we've already talked about, is like it makes perfect sense. But there's also that comfortability of like, you look at some of the legacy brands that have been doing, you know, EFI and ECUs and stuff like that. And it's some great brands, some new brands, some older brands, some legacy brands. And it seems like, you know, OE's here and they've been doing things and they're trying to like reach to that level. And then you got HP Tuners. It's like, well, like we figured out all the OE shit and we're allowing you to do this. And it's almost like you're kind of like saying, oh, you want to do that? Yeah, we can do that. We've been spending all our time.
We can step down a little bit and
100%. You know, it's like you get what better person to buy, you know, a standalone from than somebody that knows the OE's infrastructure across the board, right? Versus somebody that started from scratch, albeit sometimes 5 years ago, sometimes 30 years ago. But regardless, you know, that was their business model to try and build something from scratch to attain.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was loud.
Just had a fucking blowout.
I think you just broke your chair.
I actually thought you dropped a bottle.
No,
You've got somebody trying to reach up versus somebody that's like, oh yeah, we've had that figured out. If you just want us to build a fucking ECU, I know it's not that simple. And I'm not taking away from any of the engineer stuff.
I understand. Yeah,
from the consumer side, it's like, oh, fuck, that's probably like better. You know,
just the broad experience you had in every other OE that you can probably take a little bit from each one or take from your experience and make a better
the knowledge
end
base
product because you've got such a huge knowledge base of the way all these significantly higher tiered customers or not customers, vendors are doing stuff.
It's been immensely challenging as well because the team that develops it is stuck between two kind of ways of thinking. Either follow the OE route, which is how they calibrate cars, which is very different to how the aftermarket does. And the aftermarket is, I guess, a little more simplified. The OE calibrators is very complex. Obviously, their systems and processes are immensely complex. The amount of maps available to them are just in the thousands, and how they interact with each other. So then the team that developed the core ECU had to try and pick somewhere between the two. It's like we want it to be similar, but we also want it to be able to deliver to this higher echelon of ability. So it's been an amazing ride already. We've got amazing feedback from the industry. It's super, I don't know, I guess just I'm beyond proud to be able to stand there and see this team be able to present this new product to the market and just come out of nowhere. Like, I guess, as you guys said, no one considered or even thought that we would do it. Might have been logical, but they didn't see it coming.
Right.
We kept it quiet for a very long time.
You did a great job. It'd be a horribly boring podcast, but I'd love to be able to have the conversation with some of those lead engineers on.
You'll never get him on the podcast.
I know, but it's just a conversation, not a podcast.
So Mr. Cosworth is what you're talking about. Yeah.
I would again, I'm making this up in my head, but I see this guy that has been working on hacking these OE stuff and working through these processes for so long, and then has this idea to do that. And for so long, he's probably got this in his mind of like, why do you guys do it this way? It's so fucking stupid. You should just do it this way. And then you start building it, and then you're like, oh, fuck, now I see why you did it that way, because it does seem stupid, but that's the only way to get from A to B, you know? I mean, from my own personal, there's probably like those stories of hearing that. It's like...
That's daily.
Yeah.
Okay, that's daily. That conversation happens all the time. If we're not challenging each other and coming up with new ideas about what we should and shouldn't do or how we should do things, it's not right. It's boring. Yeah, right. We're almost empty.
Yeah, we're almost empty.
So
everyone's trying.
Yeah, I know. It's it drives development and it keeps the engineering team on their toes. These guys just want to continue developing and releasing new things. So, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, just keep filling them. Nice. That is great.
Yeah, that's
It really is good.
shockingly good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean,
Great purchase on my part. I'm going to take full credit for
You
that.
do. You take full credit.
Nice.
This
I mean,
is,
you procured it.
I would have walked right past it if you didn't say something this
it's
morning.
Yellowstone right now with it's a
Dukes of Hazzard.
yeah.
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 It's Boss Hog.
It's a little boss hog.
Yeah, it's Boss Hog.
I love his thought process.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a great label. I would honestly, they need better marketing because I would not have purchased it.
He's
Having not known about it, but knowing who he is
yeah.
and like the prominence behind it, I'd buy it for sure.
He's on the social media.
Okay.
He's around there. Just start popping. Now it's going to be all over the place. Now that you said something.
Well,
about it.
now that I said it, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm an influencer.
Well, it's one of those.
No,
things. You got to taste it, right? Like,
I meant, you know how the
Because the Matrix is
the
listening.
Matrix
Okay,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to seek that out.
I can see you've got a
bottle on
question
the
loaded.
shelf.
You do.
You got,
It's standard question time.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see,
I hope you come prepared.
Bill, this is
I
the
did
problem
not. On
because
purpose.
you've
on purpose.
you've been a part of these. That's the problem.
Right.
But you don't know if
Yeah.
we didn't change it up.
Good news is they're all new standard
So
questions.
here's the thing, right?
Curve
In all honesty, I didn't prep.
All right, good, because I didn't change the
purpose.
questions up.
Oh, good.
Do you think I started thinking about this. Do you think the questions, like the standard questions, should keep going as the same standard?
I don't know. I haven't heard any negative feedback.
I don't think anybody listens this long to like.
At the tail end,
Yeah.
you're probably right.
No, I think people still.
I think it's
Well, maybe this is the point
There's a
that we
couple of good
ask.
ones.
Does anybody want us to continue these same questions, or they want us to change them up?
Yeah.
If you've got a suggestion, hop
Assuming-
down below
assuming
and
somebody's still
let us know.
3 hours in.
Are we really?
you're starting to be condescending to the listeners. They are fans.
Well, if they are,
They listen.
Then I would like them to chime in and be like, "What's a new standard question?" Because we rolled out.
It's coming up on season 4.
We rolled out the law enforcement one that came
Yep.
in season 3.
Yeah.
I think.
Law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
Send it.
I feel like there's got to be another.
I've got a good one for that.
There's got to be another new one. And I haven't thought about it, but somebody
Right.
should chime in.
You're right.
be
I'm,
fun.
hey, the fans are smarter than we are. They'll bring the heat.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let it
Nice.
rip.
Bring it.
First up, easy one that we've done from day one. Favorite car movie.
Oof.
Other than Mad Max.
I mean,
Well,
it
he
was,
lived it. So
I mean, once I was finished getting my mail, all right, and fighting the apocalypse, right, there are so many amazing car movies, but as an Audi enthusiast, you know what I'm going to say.
Ooh, whole transporter.
No.
Baby Driver.
Jesus, no.
Ronin.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, I've got to be honest.
Ronan's been brought up so many times, and you guys have never watched Ronin.
I have not.
Ronin was our go-to to sell home audio equipment.
Dude, will you text
Really?
It's a
Dude.
fucking nut
Yeah.
scene.
Will you text me to remind me?
Yes,
Please
I will.
watch it. Please watch
Yeah.
it. It's very
Ronin's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
film.
you would really like it.
Who's in it?
Those guys that
There's an Audi.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and a 5 Series. The 5 Series Beamer is honestly better than the Audi. Let's be honest.
is it Al Pacino or De Niro? Hang on. De Niro? Right, it's
But
Robert-
what's
Robert De Niro.
what's the bearded guy that's in a lot of movies? I don't
The
know
French
his name.
guy.
Yes,
Yeah,
but nobody knows his name.
I don't remember his name, but everyone knows him, right?
He's a badass.
Yeah, he is a badass.
Yeah.
It's a great film. The car scene, and it's not that long. The car scene, but
Oh, it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
It's a fantastic.
What's
one.
it's an Audi and
It's
Audi
an,
it's like a car chase.
It's an S8, which is a V8, and in the film it's modified, but he sends it. It's real. It's very. The reason what makes
It's
it good-
modified on purpose in the movie.
right.
Like so, the
it's
thing.
it's raw, right? Like he
Yeah.
just sends it, and he's just sending it through traffic, and he's being chased, and it's
It'd be like Ocean's 11 before Ocean's 11. It's kind of that.
Ocean's 10.
actually like think Gone in 60 Seconds.
I hate you so much.
Right? Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor, but a little, but cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, but cooler. That scene at the end,
Got it.
where Eleanor's being chased.
I gotta
It's
give
just
it
a little. It's cooler.
The 5 Series is cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. All right, Ronan.
Right.
That puts you. There's probably 15 to 20 people that live in the Ronin category from 3 seasons of this.
Yeah.
150 episodes.
So I'll tell you, as an obsessed Audi fan, right? We booked out a cinema and watched Ronin in the theater in Australia. Like, we got a group of people.
Flex.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Well, it actually wasn't that bad.
This was the new showing, like right when it comes out?
No.
This is like years after?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, small theater. We didn't know this, right? Like, we were just like a group of us were like, I wonder if we could ever see Ronin in the theater. Can we do that? Is that possible? If you find a small enough theater that's like seats like 60,
This is the type of
50
people thing that IT guys do. Just letting you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So this is somebody that works at HP.
Well, as you're saying that, I'm like, dude, it's a good idea because how many people, like, there's so many theaters, how many people are going to these on like a Monday afternoon?
That's right.
They probably
So
got
that's
the
what we
film.
did.
It's sitting there, right?
No, well, they just digitally, the theater will digitally order it, and they'll be able to stream it once or whatever they do.
Sure.
Yeah.
The engineers cracked it.
Laser disc.
So
I'm sure they've got laser
BitTorrent
discs.
or something.
So here's the thing, right? If you guys wanted to do like some crazy
Days of Thunder at the theater.
Oh my god, yeah, you could totally do it. You could totally do it.
Yes. We're going to do that for a company event.
Yep, you could do it. Just book the whole theater out and just do it.
Done.
So start making some phone calls.
I'm serious.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Days of Thunder.
I don't think
Merry Christmas, everybody.
They're talking about a sequel to that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with Days of Thunder.
I don't know. I think
like-
they did good with
Gun's
Top Gun
cool.
too.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was
Tom
good.
Cruise, unlike you, doesn't age, so I think he'd be good.
Yeah, well, I
Just as an
don't think
opportunity.
we've lived the same lives. I don't think we've spent the same amount of money on the same things.
Do you think he smokes Newports?
No, he doesn't. That motherfucker's an alien.
Yeah.
A full-blown robot alien.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't age. It's gonna
No.
live to 300.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
And there's a significant amount of CGI at the end of that movie.
There is
But
a third one coming.
Top Gun?
Top Gun?
Is it really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I wish he wasn't such a fucking weirdo. Because I mean,
I'm fine with not even thinking about that stuff. Like
he's just an
an
artist.
Being a weirdo,
He's an
or-
no, yeah,
Oh, okay,
exactly. Yeah,
alright.
he's an actor.
Yeah.
I like the movie. I don't give a shit. Like I'm watching it for pure entertainment.
So thank you. Yeah, I agreed.
I know, but he's the loudest of the weirdos.
Fine, dude. I honestly don't care.
that
It
off.
has no effect on me enjoying the movie,
Yeah,
I agree on the movie. I just, yeah.
and I'm not
Same.
going to let it tarnish Days of Thunder either.
nope.
No, because he wasn't weird then. And that was an all-star cast, and it was the best movie.
Is Rowdy Burns coming back?
No.
Oh, fucking Rowdy Burns.
Shake and bake.
Another classic.
Yeah, Rowdy Burns. That was a hell of a character.
I was
Is that
in
supposed to be Rusty Wallace?
no
What? Who's the? God, who's the damn?
Cole Trickle.
No, the
Val Kilmer?
his crew chief. What's his name
Harry
Oh,
Hog?
the actor.
in real life? Yeah,
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
He's a great actor.
Oh, he's the
He was
best.
Great.
He's the
actor.
best.
Yeah, killed it.
I was in Birmingham when Days of Thunder was being filmed.
What?
Yeah. So I was at Talladega when they filmed some of the infield stuff.
In his stroller while his mom was smoking cigarettes.
Bullshit. He was
It wasn't that long ago.
He was 13 years old.
I
at
was
least
I was
smoking.
21. I was 21
Oh, yeah.
or 22. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing for Alabama.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Great
That was-
film.
There was a radio show I listened to every single morning on the way to work. Rick and Bubba, right? So the radio show. Yeah.
Rick and Bubba.
Yeah, sounds just like a Birmingham radio show, right?
Okay.
They were actually syndicated, big time, yeah. But they had a thing they would call Will Ferrell in the mornings while he was filming and stuff like that and doing shit. So it was, yeah, it was a crazy time.
You're
I like
talking
it.
about Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights when they filmed that, yeah.
Nice.
This is a phenomenal movie.
It was a great movie. No Days of Thunder, but it was a great movie.
Shake 'em
And also no Step Brothers. Step Brothers, honestly, we can all agree is
We are going
is the
down
creme
that
de la
hole
creme.
right now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
That's the
I-
top.
I think you could put Step Brothers with God, what's the movie with Jonah Hill?
Superbad?
Superbad.
Super bad.
Those are two just classic. I mean, short of you've got Dumb and
Two
Dumber.
different age groups.
All right, you've got Dumb and Dumber,
McLovin.
Superbad.
Superbad and Days of Thunder at our age right now, or Superbad and Step Brothers at our age right now, or Superbad and Step Brothers 15 years ago.
Well, you got Step Brothers was an
We
absolute.
have not matured, so it'd probably be the same reaction.
Well, yeah.
Step Brothers
But-
was like a box office failure. It
but
was
it-
like
I
nobody
don't
even
give a
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, nobody even like knew it came out. It was just
There's
like,
not a movie
and then it came
from
on
start
as
to
a
finish,
cult classic.
from start to finish that is that funny. Step Brothers is my all-time as far as comedy classics.
So the fact that it's really good now means it was just ahead of its time.
I think
Oh,
so.
100%.
I think you're hard. If you were to put it up as the greatest comedy of all time, would it beat Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. Smarter.
Dumb and Dumber.
Are we
mean,
stone
different
cold
eras.
sober?
So,
are we stone cold sober watching it?
Are you telling me
You guys-
Are we
Well,
not?
I guess it depends on what you're using to.
That's why I
for your-
said there's
I
To
don't know.
enhance your viewing?
Yeah,
yeah.
Call it Stone Cold Sober.
Then it's Step Brothers all day long.
I'd have a hard time. What would you say? I'd have a hard time making the call. Those are at least
some
the
fighting
thing.
words.
The thing you could say without a doubt is those are in the top. Those are the top two.
Yeah.
I think we could.
Would
agree.
you not put Superbad above Dumb and Dumber?
I don't think so.
Really?
No. I think I'd go Anchorman above Superbad.
Really?
Yeah, possibly Super Troopers above
Anchorman.
Superbad.
Super Troopers is good, but it's no Superbad.
Phil.
You gotta get a look at those warlocks.
Bulb.
Yeah?
Yeah, light bulb. I mean, if you're going, that's all there is to it. So, I don't know. It's like tough, to be honest. All of those are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I mean, it's no
good
Mel,
top five.
no Mel Gibson flicks, but
Yeah.
what is?
Mel Gibson, like Braveheart.
I mean,
holy fuck.
I'm gonna be honest. As a young kid, I said shit about Mad Max. I was infatuated with Mad Max. I
thought it was
watched
so unusual.
all of them,
So
everything.
fucking
I mean,
weird, dude.
especially the Thunderdome was fucking amazing. But I'm even up to nowadays. Fucking Fury Road. Holy shit!
All I ever thought, I'm glad there's a huge ocean.
Have you not watched the new ones?
That shit's crazy. What's going on over there?
You're
I'm
okay. You're safe.
Have you not watched Furiosa?
No, not the newest one.
I haven't yet either. I
Man.
will. Yeah.
But I love anything like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I love that world. I love Waterworld.
I was going to go Mad Max or
You
Waterworld.
talk about a box office failure, Waterworld. But I love that movie. I thought it was
Do you
amazing.
think that's Kevin Costner's greatest work?
It's not.
say?
No, I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
Yellowstone.
Do you think that's
The
why
gills on the back.
dude?
We're touching on
we're gonna be shocked. That's why he stepped away from Yellowstone. There's gonna be a
Waterworld 2.
That's
We're
not
all gonna
happening.
be shocked.
Wasn't Robert Duvall in that too? He was the
In Waterworld?
Yeah. He was the fucking head pirate on the aircraft carrier. Yeah.
No one is funding that. That's not happening. You're safe. You're totally fine. But like,
Yeah, I don't think we
Yellowstone,
need to change the standard questions because this was a 20-minute tirade.
100%. Got right where we need to be.
Yeah.
Yellowstone is great, but they got to wrap it up. It's been going on too long.
Kind of like
You
this
watch the new
podcast.
episodes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to finish it. Once I get hooked on a story, I got to finish it.
I got to finish it too.
You got to close it out.
I missed the most recent one.
I feel bad for him. So I really do because they freaking smashed it all the way up until now.
I watched, so during Thanksgiving, they had that, what do they call it? What do they call it when they run all the fucking episodes? A damn marathon. Shit, I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
They had-
Keep drinking.
Yeah, I know. Fucking heck. So they ran the marathon. I got caught on it like late Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
And I
Yellowstone
started,
Marathon.
some of season 2. And I watched probably like 4 or 5 episodes. I forgot that shit was.
Do you not have a modern TV where you can go on and just watch the episodes?
No, but why would I want to just? I don't sit around and be like, you know what I want to go do is watch
So you
season
just
2.
randomly stumbled across them just playing nonstop, and you sat there at the couch and watched them.
Yeah, I was flipping through the thing and it's like, hey, season 2, episode 3 of Yellowstone. I'm like, oh, let's fucking try that.
But
So I'm
please
watching it, and then I
tell
get
me there was no ads.
no, there's no ads.
Okay,
no,
thank
I'm on YouTube TV.
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
that's terrible.
ads whatsoever, and you fast forward through anything. But it was just something that was on, and you just start watching 5 minutes of it, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're fucking hooked, and you're like, holy shit, I forgot about this story. It was fucking good. Back then, like season 2 was amazing. That was a really good story.
I'd love to rewatch it. I have a major issue with rewatching anything I've ever seen, unless it's Rocky.
Jody does too.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Or Two-Lane Blacktop.
But you can't remember that good to say you can't watch it. You can't remember everything about it, so why not rewatch it?
You know where it's going, so it loses the.
But there's
all right.
No, there's the details. There's the details that you pick up.
I can derail you guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
1883.
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't go down that road.
No,
There's too many of them.
Okay. No. What? Hey, whoa.
There's 1883. There's 1923. There's 1976. There's
all
like all
years
this.
you were alive.
It's just two. There's 1883 and
23.
Yep. 1883. Holy shit! If you like Yellowstone, 1883 will like really.
That's a Tim McGraw thing, though, right?
It's freaking awesome.
I know. He's a little. He's.
I got it.
Trust me, you will love it.
I got into
You
this.
will love it.
The problem is all the different like streaming services.
Yeah.
Because you start watching it and then all of a
That's how
sudden
they get you. That's how they get you.
You've watched 2 episodes and you're
Would you like
hooked.
to subscribe to this?
Subscribe? And then I'm like, shit. I'm like, I probably shouldn't because I'm not going to remember I subscribed to it. But I'm like, all right, I'll do the trial, knowing
You forgot about the trial and they're charging you every
knowingly
month.
that if I subscribe to the trial in 30 days, I'm going to get billed for it. I'm like,
Oh, we're spending.
I want to watch it. I must have
$15,000
a month.
And the wife calls you back and says,
And
why have you got 12 subscription services?
Right, and I still can't watch it. That's what's going on with me with Yellowstone right now. I still, I've got Paramount, Prime, Netflix, you name it, and I still can't watch a live Yellowstone.
And you know why? Because it's on Peacock.
Yeah,
You got it, but you got to have. Yeah, YouTube TV is where it's at, man. I'm telling you.
All right.
Fuck get rid of DirecTV and go to YouTube.
But I
That's
did
the
watch.
shit.
I started watching both of those series, and they were great, and I got hooked, and then I just kind of got distracted.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna tell you something. The way I feel about Tim McGraw.
He's a total package, dude.
No, stop. When the last time I gave a shit about Tim McGraw was
love here?
I know I shed just a touch of a tear when he told me not to take the girl. Right?
Oh,
Wait.
yeah. I still fucking tear up.
Oh
every
man,
time that
that's
song comes
But
out.
after that, he's gone downhill, dude. I'm telling you what. No, that's Tim McGraw ain't country.
You say all you say all you want, but dude, you take Jimmy Johnson, you take Tommy Thompson, and every single time he takes them, I start tearing up.
I know.
You got to watch it, dude.
Hey,
You gotta
barbecue
watch
stain on my white T-shirt, but I'm telling you what, that's just
the country boys and girls getting down on the farm.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you're telling me you don't want to get down on the farm every time you hear that.
Yeah.
That you don't feel like you're there.
I wish he would have stayed a little bit more manly. I'm be honest.
He's pretty manly in the back of that red rag top.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just. I tell you, he got skinny fucking arms. That dude's a little.
Is he really? I thought he was all
This feels
jacked.
very
No.
judgmental.
I thought
I
he was
am.
all jacked up.
I am. He's just.
He was wearing sleeveless T-shirts for a long time, wasn't he? Or was that Kenny Chesney?
He's a little old Tom Hanks. I'm telling you, there's.
What movie was he in? Was it Country Strong? One of those movies that.
Yeah, I know
trying
what you're
to
talking about. What Down Home on the Prairie or something. It was a Hallmark movie.
There was something. I don't know. I think he was maybe balding or bald.
He's been balding for a fucking while.
Yeah.
He got a fucked up head of hair. He needs to go. he needs.
Guys are brutal.
He needs to go to Turkey with fucking Troy Gudgel.
Turkey. And we're there. We made it. Final destination. We are done.
Hey, it's a ride. All right, we got two more.
If we can hang on.
Yeah, we can hang on. And you see Tim McGraw and Troy Gudgel on the same plane.
There's half a bottle there. We're
Headed to Turkey.
You know, I'm laughing. I'd be right there in between them.
Have you seen the new thing on? It's either TikTok or
I've seen
Instagram.
it.
All the different. It's like people on the plane
Coming
going to
back from
Turkey,
Turkey. No,
and
coming
they're
back. They're coming back.
and they're just like in their phone, and we're like, we all waiting for the same reason.
Yeah,
All hair
like taped up
transplants.
heads. Yeah, we're there.
All right. I already shot my shot on the first car, right?
Yeah.
First car and a story about that car. But before, you guys got any shots?
Dude, there's such a cultural disconnect.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to take
Just
it.
send it.
A ute.
Do it. A ute. What about a ute?
It's your first car.
You'd have been
Typical.
Oh.
in Australia. You can get
Oh,
your
you're trying to
license at
guess.
yeah. You can get your license at 16. Is that what the
No.
when can you get your license?
You guys get your license way earlier than us. 18.
18?
18.
All right, so you're getting your
We
license
get
at
our learner's permit.
you're getting your license at 97, 98, right? 1997, 1998.
96.
96. Okay. It's close.
Yeah.
So 1996 you're getting the license. Did you purchase your own car?
Yeah.
Okay, by yourself.
This is a lot of lead up to having no
Yes.
clue what kind
Yeah,
of
dude,
cars
I
they had in
honestly
Australia.
don't
I've already
know.
guessed.
You know why? He's
I've already guessed.
sussing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he already sent his shot and he
It's
got it
not
wrong.
a
I did.
Volkswagen. It's a fucking Holden. Some
Nope.
sorts.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
I'm lost on this one.
Ooh, 97 Bavaro.
What?
That's the name I made up.
A Bravaro.
Bavaro?
A Bravada. Remember the Bravada?
Yeah. Have another drink.
The Bravado was
The
quite,
Oldsmobile Bravada.
I think Joe's still driving a Bravado.
he was until it shit the gas tank.
I feel
all
like
over the
you could
parking
say,
lot.
how much bravado do you have?
Japanese, German, Australian, or American.
I'm
Just
not telling you,
fire
just-
away, dude. Just
you
give us.
already sent it.
All right.
I'm
I know.
not-
I did
it's
send
not
it.
a you.
I was off.
We're so.
What is it?
Out of our
First
element.
car.
Yeah, what is it? We're
No, you-
It wasn't. It wasn't an Audi. The first car was an Audi.
Nope, it's Japanese.
Okay. CRX.
Holy shit, no.
Okay. It was a fucking cool car.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Toyota 4Runner.
I'm not.
Horsepower to weight ratio.
Wow, no. Come on, performance guy.
Del Sol.
WRX.
Oh.
Wow, would not have pictured
I
that.
thought those.
Did you
were,
vape back then?
yeah, I was
thought those
I
were-
don't think you vaped.
Because back then, vape didn't fucking exist.
Okay.
aren't those made in Indiana?
WRX.
Other Subarus are.
Every time I
Back
tried
then, so we're
65.
so we're talking 96, 97, right? That's the OG chassis.
Oh yeah, that's
Right,
that's
the
Impreza.
rally car.
That is rally car.
Yeah, that's rally car,
Yeah.
and that is what impressed me back then. It was like friends either had the Japanese car following, they either had Supras, Skylines, Evos.
Well, those are
WRX.
cool cars.
Yeah, and or other friends had like Commodores, Falcons, Tiranas, Monaros, everything else like that.
WRX was a do anything kind of car.
Back then,
Yeah.
at that power level, being able to buy that car and just slightly tune it and be able to annihilate everything on the road was pretty
I'm with you,
spectacular.
dude. There was a period of time when that hatchback came out that I kind of sort of came close to buying one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that's like late 90s for you?
No, that would have been like, I mean, you're talking like 2012,
Early 2000s.
no, mid.
So here in the
mid-2000s.
US, you guys didn't get the WRX until I would call the Bug-Eye, which is the next generation chassis. And then from then on, you had the Bug-Eye, then you had, I think it was called the Pig Nose. And
I still wish you would have gotten a WRX wagon.
It was before you. It
I
was
did
before
not.
you were.
But I would have heard the story that you owned one.
I had a sedan.
Fucking
yeah.
Dude,
awesome.
my reasoning for it was the winters, and that it would be a great, and it's still to this
Yep.
day, I stand behind that. It would be a great drift car.
Yeah, I
to
kind of
go
want like
fuck
a
around in
Focus
the winters.
RS.
Yeah.
With a 6-speed for
Oh,
winter.
get yourself one.
Winter beater.
Fucking go
So,
get it
there was-
tomorrow.
Dude,
please.
I wouldn't walk it back either. I think it's still to this day like getting out in a just nice. There's a couple inches of snow and just
Yeah.
ripping
Send
it.
it.
Yeah, with a fucking beret on. That's
No,
fucking awesome.
Beret.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking awesome.
Allez-vous
Where
français?
does the beret fit
Right?
in?
I mean, I can
He-
see like
he's-
a LED vape, like a vape with a little LED on the end. Just
And do you know what?
No, I see nothing
Winter
but
hat with a
trees
brim.
and just a misting of snow, and you just out there fucking getting it.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not happening. Not doing it. Like vapes didn't exist, thank God.
They got a cool sound though. I mean, there's,
They did.
yeah, I'm
Back
not-
then they were cool. I'm not discrediting the community now. It's a little different. But
The Forester, I'll discredit the shit out of the Forester community. Yeah, the Subaru Forester.
Is there people standing up for the Forester
Well,
community?
no, but he's
I don't
talking about.
think- I don't
He
think
doesn't want to
so.
They are,
disrespect the.
and they're doing that fist bump
Yeah,
too.
but it's the code. That's the code.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
Subaru
there-
Forester and Subaru Outback that's 10 out of 10 every single time.
Yeah.
You've never been behind a Subaru Outback or Forester that's been a good driver.
Dude,
Or
not that we cared, but I lost one of our major TV show contracts over that. Remember?
oh, Yeah.
love
This
that.
is a story that we've never talked about. This is a story
I'm gonna
that's new.
say, I love that he led with that. It's like, not that I fucking care.
Yeah, no,
but I lost a major TV contract.
Before the we won't go too deep into it, but before the podcast, there was a lot of discussions that we kept saying no to, and it was all revolving around a TV show, right? Around the Roadster Shop, and kind of got to a point where we were kind of like all just like done with the conversations, right? We've done several of them, and you know exactly, I mean, probably dozens of them, honestly. You know exactly how the conversations are going to go. You have the first meeting. This is not what we're interested in. This is what we are interested in, blah, blah, blah. It goes all the way to the end of the thing, and then it goes south, right? You know, so there was one that we get on, and I think this was probably second or third call, and it was a group call, and it was the casting director, right? And we've had a couple of them, and Jeremy's got a unique ability. Anybody that's listened to this podcast long enough knows that one of his superpowers is whatever the thing that he's about to go super hard against is the one thing that you're probably the most passionate about, right? Or that, you know, if he's going to talk shit about a car that people drive, it's probably the one that you drove here in.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, we call him smoke bombs, right? He's definitely the guy that is going to have the unique ability to offend in a pinpointed manner. So we get on this Zoom call, right? And we're going through the motions and stuff like that. And however it got brought up, I could tell pretty well off at the beginning probably what she would have drove. And I'm sure probably Jeremy did. It didn't maybe dawn on him. And he goes into a story about like customer base and stuff like that, and maybe fan base, and one thing led to another, and he's like, I don't really give a shit about what somebody that drives a Subaru Forester thinks about what the fuck we do. And she kind of let off a little smile, and at that point, all three of us knew what she drove. And then she's like, well, I mean, I actually drive a Subaru Forester. And then, of course, you know, oh yeah, well, you know exactly what I mean, then, don't you?
Yeah, she definitely took offense to it.
Yeah, the good thing is no follow-up call after that.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of ended it.
You got away with it.
Yeah, which is good.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Yeah, we ended up all right.
All right. Last but not least, favorite law enforcement interaction story.
You said you had a good one.
I did.
Do y'all call them the federales down there? Or is it?
No, it's a different down there.
It is
Further down there.
It is not Mexico.
I'm getting beat up.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, but they're way worse.
Really?
They're
really?
very strict. Oh my god, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Mounted? They ride horses?
Yeah. Horses as in
Kangaroos.
Well, back in the day, there were Commodores, and they were like basically built like HSV, so they were LS3, the pursuit vehicles.
Hard to outrun.
I've watched Mad Max.
Yeah. pretty
Absolutely.
much. Yeah. Machine guns mounted,
Yeah.
everything. You were good. You were done.
Yeah.
No, all right. So, law enforcement story. It's long enough ago that I can't get in trouble, which is awesome.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Those are always the best.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So by default, we usually start this with in Mexico.
Yes, but this is in Australia. Because in Australia,
Well,
So
Hey,
this is in Australia and long ago.
We, as of recent, like, things have been a little bit more relaxed as far as like the terrible things you've done, because now you can disobey like gun laws, you can like fuck your taxes, all that stuff, and you don't have to worry about going to jail.
really?
Oh yeah, you get pardoned for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got
We
you.
don't
just want to do that.
Yeah, so like
I think your dad has to hold a certain position.
well maybe,
Oh,
but
okay.
Right.
but at any rate, like a
At any
little
rate,
speeding,
a long time ago
a
in
little
Australia.
speeding.
In Australia.
Little
Okay.
speeding.
All right.
None of that stuff matters anymore.
All right. So it's a beautiful summer's day, right? So that's like now, not winter here in Illinois, and heading out actually to meet friends for like lunch,
A pint.
pint, a few beers, and obviously in a nicely powerful vehicle, and they're very strict in Australia, very, very strict, more so there than they are here, where they will literally hide. So the police will either have speed cameras on the side of the road, there'll be planted on the side and they'll take photos, or they will have a laser. They very rarely use radar. Actually, radar is just long and gone. And I am in the suburbs and I'm heading into the city, and I come along this road that I know has some very nice bends in it. And of course, I'm on my way to catch up with friends. I'm in a great mood. It's like nice summer's day and windows open, sunroof open.
How many degrees Celsius would it be at this point?
It was like 28 degrees Celsius.
7 liters.
So that's what's that? That's like
petrol, and that's warm.
80 something, 80s.
Fuck, that's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good day. It's a good day. Nice, powerful car. I send it, and I come around this sweeping left-hander. And as I come around this sweeping left-hander, I'm just like, obviously, you just drop down a gear. It's manual, stick, and you send it.
Yeah.
And it's like boost comes on, everything's great, you're feeling great, it's a great day, and then you look to the left. I'm sorry, right-hand drive. You look to the left, and you see that unmarked traffic police officer sitting there, and you know it's him because he's in this unmarked Commodore. I guess what would be the equivalent here? It'd be like
a Charger, like a Dodge
a Charger, right? Like so you'd come around this quiet street and you just see this freaking Charger on the side of the road, and you know that they've got the gun, right? And you come around, and I am wide open throttle third gear, and it's like what is it? Like a 50 zone, 50 Ks. So I guess it's like 30 mile an hour, something like that, and I'm probably doing 70. And I'm sending it, and I come around that corner, and I see it's like you go right past him, and you just look at him.
You have a decision to make.
Yeah, that decision.
We've all had that decision.
That decision was, I saw it. I had people in my car, and they were like, "Woohoo! Sounds great. Car's going great. Everything's awesome." And I look, and I kind of lift off a little bit as I see it, and they're like, "What's wrong?" And I just went, "Nothing."
Yeah, I was gonna say you have two things: pull over immediately or stay the fuck in it. That's the only two decisions you've got to make.
So, in risk of going to court soon, I was just like, yeah, I knew like either he was going to pull me over, or he didn't have a photo because in Australia they need to take a photo. So I just wide open throttled again and just kept going all the way to the end of that road, and just like. I pull up to the end of the road, and there's a T intersection, and everyone's like still happy in the car, like, yeah, it's a great day, we're going to this, and like, what's wrong, Andrew? And I'm looking in my rear vision mirror, and I'm just like, pretty sure I just drove past a cop at like twice the speed limit because it's a very low speed limit in this road, and I'm like looking, and sure enough, you see the car pull out. I'm like, yeah, that's a police car. Okay, yeah, I'm in trouble. So I look right, and I'm like, all right, I'm turning left right now. And I just go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right for the next few blocks. And I'm just like hoping he doesn't catch up to me. And he didn't catch up to me. But there is no way he didn't see my, there is absolutely no way he didn't see my plate. And I'm like, how could I not get in trouble for this? I was like, he didn't pull me over. I'm like, I'm going to call that a win for today.
Yeah.
I got away.
And see what shows up in the mail.
Nothing showed up.
Really?
I wonder about the sophistication of the cars because the last ticket I got was probably, almost a year ago. We've got
in Spanish or English?
Yes, Spanish.
Right.
Oh, Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Australian English?
Well, no, this one was.
This one was full blown Spanish.
Oh,
so I'm driving my Legend truck, 77
Square body
K10
landscaper special. Yes.
2,000 horsepower.
It's 650 horse, LT4, and it's a patina'd truck. And I'm driving down.
I think it was because it was tuned on HP Tuners.
Well, it absolutely was tuned on HP Tuners. And I'm driving there's a street in between my mom's house and my house. It's just a straight, long street. It's got to be 3 miles long, and it's a 30-mile-an-hour street. And I have to drive it all the time. Nobody drives 30 miles an hour.
No.
And it changes right in the middle of the street. It changes townships. So you go from Long Grove to Hawthorne Woods. I'm in Hawthorne Woods. She's in Long Grove. You always have cops on either side, depending on like what's going on. And I'm just not like it's late at night. I've got my daughter with me, and I'm like, I want to get the fuck home. And I'm rolling, and I'm not even going that fast. I'm going like 45, maybe 45 and a 30. But the speed limit honestly should be at least 45.
Sure.
It's a legit argument.
Yeah, it truly is.
It should be, I can make the argument for 50. That road, it should be 50.
Yeah.
It's straight for 3 miles road.
There's no driveways or anything. It's just a straight ass road.
It's stupid. It's
Cop coming the
cash
other
grab.
way, and I realized that I've just crossed over into Hawthorne Woods. So I'm like, fuck, this is a Hawthorne Woods cop. And it passes me the other way. And then I see the brake lights come on, and I see they're starting to make a turn, but it's just a narrow little 2-lane road.
Should have ran.
And I'm thinking it so much thought process that I'm like, I weighed out like how fast. I'm like 650 horsepower. if I stand on this, there's
You 100% could have got away.
Absolutely.
Please tell me you
could have got away. But then
You
I'm like,
should have.
the only thing that I thought, I'm like, I don't think that they could have clocked me.
Right.
So they probably just thought I was going fast. Maybe they're looping around because they just got past the Hawthorne Woods border. So they're going to come around and catch up to me, whatever. And so I just start driving normal. Fucking rolls me so I pull into the gas station right there. Pulls me over, and I'm pissed because it's late at night. I don't want to deal with this shit. And I'm not going that much over the speed limit. So I don't say anything. I just sit there and license and registration. Hand her my license. Comes back. Goes into her car for a while. Hands me a fucking ticket. Everything's in Spanish. The whole fucking ticket, all the information, everything's in Spanish.
What?
So, yeah, like profiled me based on the vehicle, which is...
And the way you look.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How tan were you at the point?
Maybe, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Vinny said he understood it.
He'd been at the
Vinny
beach
understood
for a
it.
month.
Yeah.
Vinny said he would have wrote this.
Yeah. But at any rate, the point of the story is there was that you have that little like that teeter-totter moment.
You should have done it.
I should have
Please
fucking
tell
ran.
me
I should have
you
fucking
went
ran.
back to him and just while he handed it to you and just went, I'm sorry, mate.
It was a female.
Female cop, and I'm like, I was just irritated with it.
Dude, imagine what you would have done if you were in the WRX wagon.
Yeah. Oh, no, come on. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper.
That's good.
There you
There,
go.
gone.
But you would have been able to follow the
I
smoke
did.
trail, though.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I
no,
absolutely
That's
could.
now.
That's now.
Back then, vapes
The
didn't exist.
the Impreza was a thing.
Did you have a
The
Monster
WRX
Energy?
is a different thing.
Well, no. There was.
That's-
I'm sorry.
I consider-
Imprezas- I'm sorry. Okay, that's it. Impreza, WRX, and STIs were very popular in Australia. So
Did you have the Monster Energy logo on the back
I
window?
did not.
How about a little Kyle above the above the door?
Kyle?
No.
Oh.
That was
Kyle.
that was my only Subaru, and I did enjoy it. It was great because it was fast back then in the late 90s. That was quick. Being
You
able to
ever-
modify that car
Fast. You ever driven a Chrysler Conquest?
with the handbrake on. Sorry,
Yeah.
e-brake.
Or e-brake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Or a Starion.
Yeah, no.
Same car.
Sounds terrible.
It's
anyway,
It's
back
wide
in
body
reality.
rear wheel drive turbo. That's
Yeah.
anybody that's a fan knows what a Chrysler Conquest is.
Yeah, look, once I finished with the Subaru, it had like 400 horse, which wasn't bad back then.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, but then I moved to Audi after that, and then everything was.
Once you go Audi.
Well, I just got obsessed with like big, larger capacity V8s, twin turbo, and just wound the boost up through the high hell, and it's awesome. Yeah, but I will say, like, we haven't touched on this, and this is like the 2 seconds worth,
Get it.
right? Adrienne and Tom and the GM stuff. Like, when I met Adrienne, and she said, "Oh yeah, no, I built a Monty," didn't believe it. Not
Really?
even a little bit.
She thinks she was full of shit?
Did
No,
you
I
even
didn't
know,
believe
did you
she
even
was
know
full
what
of
it
shit.
was?
I just did I? Yeah, no, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
But I didn't believe that she built it, right? And then I started saying, and she's
You
like,
thought she built it.
yeah, come on.
She
You
put
guys
some
know.
parts on it. I got you.
You guys know.
I got you.
You get customers that
No,
come
I
in
would
and
never say that
"Do
about a woman,
this."
but that's, if you want to, that's fine.
That's good.
It's fine.
But she, do you know what? She built it
Yeah, she did.
all the way through. She did everything. She literally put that motor together. She welded the chassis. She did the whole tubbed
awesome.
it. Yeah. Like, and when I saw that car, it was like, holy shit, this is the real deal.
Dude, so you live in Deerfield.
Yeah.
Right? You drive past my childhood home where I was born and raised for 21 years. Every day on your way home from work, right off Deerfield Road.
I'm sure he thinks about it every day.
I'm assuming you drive up
Well, I will now.
Well, you must drive up Deerfield Road towards 94.
Yeah.
I grew up off of Port Wine, so it's probably the stoplight you get stuck at every single day, and you're like, what the fuck? This is a pain in the ass. I grew up right there.
Yeah.
So you live up there in Deerfield. Those fucking cars don't jive into like a Monte Carlo, a flat black Monte Carlo.
No. Adrienne's Monte.
That's not allowed.
That's in Michigan.
It's in Michigan.
Okay. Right.
She Tom and Carolyn have their amazing hot rods, and Adrienne has hers.
Okay.
They're all stored in Michigan.
Got it.
So yeah, we're in Deerfield.
I mean, you go to jail. Like she would probably go to
maybe,
jail.
but
Driving that in Deerfield.
To be honest, it's more fun driving that car in
Up
Michigan.
there. Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this thing up. But last bit.
Sorry.
No, I'm just thinking about this. I mean, Adrienne and Tom were fucking amazing. Absolutely. That whole family is absolutely amazing. We had a really, really great time. And I'm sitting here listening to you. We gave you a lot of shit about Australia thing, right? And we're having a lot of fun.
Let's be clear.
You gave him a lot of shit.
No, I think it was a group thing.
No, I'm a fan.
Yeah, everybody.
I
think everybody was equally.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Phil probably more so.
Not at all.
honestly.
Yeah,
If
mostly
anybody,
on my
it would be
shoulders.
Phil that would be most.
I'm a fanboy.
So. You're talking about your story. You're talking about being in IT. You've always been a car guy. We talked about all the differences in Austria. You ever sit back and seriously fucking pinch yourself in where you're at career wise, and then also like who your fucking wife is and who the family is? Like, think about that culture. Like, that's fucking cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it really is. That's
so-
what this world can do, especially in the car world. Like polar fucking opposites.
So I mean, to that point,
Detroit Americana and
I met Adrienne at an event, and I didn't know who she was at all, and I don't think she said it in her podcast, but she ended up asking me out, which was super incredible, right? Like, that's amazing. We ended up going out to dinner, and it just kind of went on from there. But we started dating, and I didn't know who she was or who her parents were at all. And then once I dated her for a little while, I felt comfortable to tell the guys at work, I'm like, hey, I'm dating this girl. And, oh, yeah, who is she? And the guys at work, and I'm like, oh, Adrienne Peters. And one of the guys is, like, obsessed with Corvettes. Like, obsessed, beyond obsessed. And then he met her, and then he pulls me aside, and he's like, that's Tom Peters' daughter. And I'm like, who's Tom Peters? And I was just like, what? Okay, right. And that was a mind-blowing moment for me because she was so amazing, but also her parents. Like, you guys have met Tom and Carolyn now.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly truly blessed. Like, that family is spectacular, and Tom and Carolyn are just awesome. And I think you guys need to do V2 with Tom.
Dude, I would love to because I missed out on it.
Yeah.
I came back.
And we're not going to do it just simply because of that.
We
It was
absolutely
honestly
are.
one of the greatest things. You're never going to get to enjoy it.
I came back from SEMA, and apparently I must have been like making out with Wagner and the Rings and
You're one of
Bowler and all the
87
other
people
guys.
who
that
almost didn't make it.
Everybody came back from SEMA with.
There's a lot of weak immune systems in this industry.
You're licking doorknobs, man. You're licking doorknobs.
I don't know what was going on, but dude, I was wrecked.
Did you get sick?
I was sick during the
Yes,
show.
he was.
I did I show up every day? I was there every day, right?
Yeah.
You're the one that fucking gave probably everybody that shit.
I saw you during your event. What was the?
Well, we did SEMA fine.
Yeah.
He ruined.
Okay.
He,
So you survived SEMA.
Don't fuck with me.
no, he just ruined the the biggest trip of the year. But that's fine. My wife was fine with that. Your wife was fine. It's not a big deal.
Did he have an
Planned
oxygen
all year
tank after the scene?
No,
or was
not
I
that
this
made
one.
sure everybody had a good time. I didn't let it interfere with
Right.
anything. Did I?
No.
Did
Did
it?
I let it
Manned up.
interfere with me? I was good. I didn't seem like I had a problem.
Yeah, dude, we have like fully understood the fact that
I want you to announce it to the world.
yes,
It's time.
Okay, here it
It's
is.
time. It's
Here it
been
is.
fucking long enough.
It's time. Josh has the most superior immune system in the history of mankind, and it
never
is
get sick.
likely derived from the smoking the almost now a century of smoking Newport cigarettes. Has contributed to the fact that there is no disease that can penetrate into his immune system.
Nice.
Honestly,
no
have
matter what.
have I been sick since you've known me?
No,
For probably what? Almost 20 years?
he
17 years?
has the anti-venom. He is
Yeah.
probably has the cure to COVID. It's
all internal.
truly-
It's internal.
It will be the ultimate compliment that I give him. That is truly his immune system is truly remarkable.
I promise you, I could go to and lick a porta-john at Coachella and be fine.
There's a vision
Absolutely
right there.
fine.
That's the
I
only
think we
thing
should
that,
test that.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how honest of a human.
What
being
about
You're-
Because
you're-
you
hey,
film
what
that?
about-
that's the most honest you've ever been.
Please film it.
what about NSRA Louisville? Could you like?
Look.
No, that's now we're playing.
Now we're pushing
Now
it?
we're playing with fire.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And hats off to you.
Fucking
I'm
Andrew,
impressed.
it's been absolutely amazing. We killed
Thank you,
we killed a
guys.
fucking bottle.
We did.
That's Redbreast
bottle and a half.
That was
pot
good.
still 21-year Irish whiskey. I don't even know if anybody can find it. Probably not, because that's some good shit. If you can,
Oh,
1,000%
yeah.
buy it. I mean, honestly, that's getting a high 8 from me.
Yeah,
It's
that's
getting a
something-
high
I think
8.
it's north of 8. I honestly
It's getting
think
a high
north of
8.
8.
Oh.
I'm 8-2 on that. I really enjoyed that, man.
Good.
It's
really,
good.
Glad, guys.
really
Thank you.
enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
been one of
was
the
very
first
good.
times we brought something that out of our wheelhouse that been really, really impressed with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super great drinker.
Fucking amazing.
Dangerously easy to drink.
But
Oh,
seriously,
yeah, we
though,
killed an entire bottle. Like, no problem.
What about
and half of another.
what about the Lemingtons?
Oh, the Lemingtons.
Yeah, Lemingtons were great.
They're phenomenal.
Tell Adrienne, honestly, she did the great job.
She did. She
Yeah.
killed it.
And full disclosure, I'm not a coconut guy. Like,
Nice.
and I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
They were good. They weren't overly sweet. They were
Nope.
they were just
Balanced.
that's a very balanced delicacy.
How come she didn't show up and have to sit in the hot
Yeah, I thought
seat?
she was gonna.
So
Some bullshit.
the only reason she's not here now is it's Tom's birthday this Friday.
Oh,
She's in Michigan. So
you're missing out on Tom's birthday.
I have to, yeah, unfortunately I have to because it's our company Christmas meeting this Friday. So
Hey Tom,
yeah.
you know what? You win some, you lose some. You can get some good son-in-laws.
Yeah. But then you get some average ones.
Yeah.
From Australia. So he's freaking awesome. I will say, don't worry, we drank enough over the weekend, Tom and I. It was great.
Have a good time.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is fantastic, especially there. Michigan was awesome. Had a great time. A lot of good food, a lot of good drink, a lot of great people.
We have a lot of close friends, and we have people that we consider family in this industry. You, Tom, Adrienne, Carolyn, you guys are family. We literally consider you guys. This has been fucking amazing. I love how this has all progressed, and episode after episode. You guys are so close. Forget the podcast and business and all that stuff. We just need to fucking hang out and go have some drinks.
We absolutely do. You guys need to do Goodwood Festival of Speed, number 1.
Yep.
But you also need to do Woodwood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to do
It's a
Woodward.
little bit closer.
Yeah.
It's a little closer, but you
That's an
guys,
easy one.
of all the things that is in your wheelhouse, that is...
Yeah.
I'm forget
Scared of the
everybody else.
traffic.
These guys they did Miami F1 and didn't invite
yeah, we
me.
did.
So I need to go. I've never been to
Yeah.
an F1 race.
You went to
I
Miami
think
F1 you didn't tell me.
Yeah, it's just like one of the cool things that we do. It's no big deal. We do so much cool shit. It's just like one of the.
they're
I forget.
I
about
didn't
it.
get to go.
Forget
right?
about it all.
Supposedly there wasn't enough seats on the fucking PJ, right?
The jet,
So
dude, the jet only has X amount of seats.
Right.
yeah, that's fine. No
You
problem.
can't bring everybody.
It was
Not a big deal.
mathematical
I don't
calculation.
blame you.
Yeah.
I blame 2 people.
Who?
And no, it doesn't matter who I blame. That's fine.
He's not willing
It'll
to
be-
put it in...
It'll be handled.
I'd put it exclusively on Tim.
Well, Tim was one of the 2 that I blame.
So then put that on the list, right? We need to do an F1 race together.
We need to do an F1 race.
Because doing
You probably got some connections. I assume.
Yeah, I mean, but having said that, just being able to meet and greet drivers and the team is next level.
Well, we're definitely doing. We need a fucking party at. We're just planning all kinds of things. We need a party July next year at the Chicago NASCAR race. I mean, SVJ is going to be racing.
Oh,
so
he is.
Adrian's going to be down there.
She will, yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah,
But-
that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't like. Right, he doesn't like watching any sports that he can't do. So
He doesn't, right.
you probably just stay home, right?
So we just got to send him
There's
to
no
the
sense in
sim.
there's no sense in watching the sports. I mean,
We're
it's
gonna
obviously
chew that one back
because it's
right
not
now.
it's not Jordan.
If
Jordan's
there-
not
okay,
racing. He
all right,
owns a team,
he
but
owns
he's
a
not
team.
racing.
Okay, if there's a sport, I could get in a fucking
Why did you bring
NASCAR.
this
Dude,
up again? We were so close to ending that.
yeah, we were gonna end it.
It was done.
I promise you, I could get in a fucking NASCAR and be closer to winning a race than I could be closer to winning a fucking championship game like Michael Jordan. What's easier?
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking shit about like I can't do it.
No, I didn't say you can't do it.
I guarantee you, put me in a fucking NASCAR.
Man,
Put
this
me in a
is
NASCAR. I could be competitive.
spicy.
I could be competitive.
Competitive.
Put me on a fucking basketball court.
Yeah, NASCAR, you can slide
Well,
the seat forward.
Forget about it, dude.
Bugsy Bogues
at
was
that level?
Bugsy Bogues played fucking 30 years, 20 years.
Here we are.
He dunked.
This is it.
Yeah, you
We've
did.
done it. We're done.
Spud Webb.
We'll see. We'll see you again next week.
We are done.